Rise and grind, ladies and gentlemen. It's about to get bumpy. Time to attack and dominate. This is Morning Juice with Brandon Beam and Bobby Carpenter.
And here we go on a Thursday, attacking and dominating our way to 9 a.m. every single weekday morning right here on The Fan. Brandon Beam, the General Bobby Carpenter, part 2 of Back to School for him today. We got our great friend Austin Ward with us. And, of course, our fearless leader and producer, Mark the Shark. A-Ward Sports, happy first day of school to you and your family.
Thank you. We had a great celebration on first day of school eve, meeting the teacher and getting a cool magic bracelet for Liberty from Mrs. Chambers. Like, great scene, great setup.
What magic does it possess?
It was able to change colors when she walked outside, which meant that they were going to have a good year of school. And then it also, they had to wait till evening to see if it glowed in the dark. Glows in the dark?
See if it glows in the dark?
I don't really know
if it glue in the dark?
I don't really know the past tense of that. Glowed in the dark.
Yes.
And that meant a great year of school. And
Glown?
It did. Glown, yeah.
A glown in the dark?
It had some glown principles. And it did. Off to a great start with me not knowing how the English language works.
Hey, man, sometimes I forget how to talk. And
it's not that I don't know.
Living.
It's not that I forgot how to talk. I really don't know what I was supposed to say for the past tense of glows.
If my computer was working, I would Google it for you.
I know. Well, let's just not worry about that and maybe talk about something else. Anyway, she's ready. She went from nervous. We were on our family walk on Tuesday night, and Allie said, "What are you excited for and what are you nervous for?" And she said, "I'm not excited for anything, and I'm nervous for everything."
Oh, that's not a great mental spot to be in.
We didn't love hearing that response, but after Meet the Teacher Day, she went from that to not nervous at all, excited for everything.
That's
exactly what we needed.
That's great. That's terrific.
So we're there.
It's a great shift in mental state. She
filled out that board for the Instagram photos and all that stuff. So she's ready to go, raring to go. Excited for her to get out there to school today.
Absolutely, man. That's great. What time do they run? What time are they going?
She gets on. We drop her off at the bus stop at 8:50.
Okay.
And then she arrives back home at 3:50. So it's a
nice little 7-hour trek.
It's a good day. She saw the schedule yesterday and everything that was lined up. She's going through it. So 9:30 pep talk. She's like, "What's a pep talk?"
Just wait.
So you're going to find out.
You think you're excited now.
Yeah.
Wait till you get to the pep talk.
You're going to get that speech. You're going to be ready to go.
Absolutely, man. Well, that's great.
The air out there is rare.
I'm hoping that we have a good day, good first day of the rest of your life. So we'll see what happens on that. Mary's having a fine day. I mean, her schedule this year, I think she's got 3 different classes, her first 3 classes of the morning. And then after that, it's planning period, lunch, planning period, and then 2 other classes in the afternoon. Or maybe 3 other classes in the afternoon. I don't know how many periods they have. But she's like, I just have to, I have to get everything done by the morning. And I'm like, yeah, me too. I got to make sure that this show is...
You're coming to the wrong guy.
Rip, rare, and ready to rock here at 6 a.m. So it's all good for her. I think she's going to enjoy her classes coming up here for this school year. So best of luck to everybody sending their kids off to school and what hopefully is a fantastic school year for everybody. Shark update, my dad is not working. So you're going to have to play the sound. You're going to have to do that. We got an awesome show lined up for you here this morning. Will Ryan Day name a starting quarterback today? Is today the day? 11:30 presser?
11:30.
11:30 presser. So we'll see what happens coming up here. We'll get into that coming up here in our next segment. Our friend from down in the Queen City, Lindsay Patterson from WKRQ and Always Game Day in Cincinnati. She's going to join the program coming up here at 6:35. Lindsay is the most optimistic person on the planet. We'll see how she feels about the Jamar Chase.
Put her to the test then.
Bengals situation. So she's going to join us coming up here at 6:35. 7 o'clock hour. Ticket prices for the Ohio State-Oregon game are out of control. Get into that a little bit. We'll do a Buckeye catch-up as well. For those of you who have forgotten everything that has happened during the Buckeye offseason, we'll get you caught up on everything that has transpired since the new year has turned. Transfer players that have come in, guys who have left, not many of them, coaches, new coaches that have come in, all that different stuff coming up here at the bottom of the 7 o'clock hour. So that's coming up at 7:35. 8:05, MMQB's Albert Breer. He's going to join the program. Busy day in the NFL yesterday and this week. We'll talk to him coming up at 8:05. And then the big fella, Jim Lachey of the Ohio State Sports Network, Ohio State Hall of Famer. He's going to round out the program. Figured it was fitting. Ohio State having a big-time offensive line battle. Jim Lachey is going to join us coming up here at 8:35. Before we get into anything else today, it is Thursday, the 15th day of August, 2024. Time for Today in History.
Time to get smarter. Morning Juice presents Today in History. Here's your professor, Mark the Shark.
Sponsored by Dr. Mark Levy. If you're snoring and not sleeping, call Dr. Mark Levy at 1-800-MORE-SLEEP.
All right, Dr. Shark Levy, what do you got lined up for us on this Thursday?
Well, today is August the 15th. The Ides of August are among us.
Yeah.
Back in 1620, the Mayflower set sail from Southampton, England, with 102 pilgrims on board. Our ancestors being from the motherland.
Yep.
Although I'm not British, and neither are you.
And neither am I.
No three of us.
Okay.
Breton blood.
You're German?
Yes.
Yeah, me too.
And a little bit of like Dutch, I think.
Yeah, Austin?
I think so.
Would you like to wager a guess?
What's
Irish.
the word?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. I'm surprised your name's not Sean or Patrick. Henry Ford was chief engineer. I didn't know this. He was chief engineer at the Edison Illuminating Company's main plant in Detroit. But on August 15th, 1899, Ford made a call to Tommy Edison. Probably didn't make a phone call to Tommy Edison now that I think about it. But he said, I quit. He resigned in order to concentrate on production of something they called the automobile. Worked out pretty well for Mr. Ford, I would say. You know, for centuries, American ships that wanted to go from the Atlantic Ocean to the Pacific had to go all the way down to the southern tip of South America. That changed on this date in 1914 when the Panama Canal opened, connecting the Atlantic and Pacific. The first ship to make its way through the canal 110 years ago today,
The Mayflower.
was the Ancon. I think that's how you pronounce it, Ancon. It was a cargo and passenger ship. The Wonderful Wizard of Oz was a book written by L. Frank Baum in 1900, but it took nearly 4 decades for that to be turned into a movie. On August 15th, 1939, it premiered at Grauman's Chinese Theater in Hollywood. Maybe you have heard of it.
Are you ready now?
Yes. Say goodbye, Toto. Yes, I'm ready now.
Then close your eyes and tap your heels together 3 times. And think to yourself, there's no place like home.
There's no place like home. There's no place like home.
Wake up, honey.
There's no place like home.
Dorothy, dear. It's Aunt Em, darling.
Oh, Annie Em, it's you.
I don't want to spoil anything. It was all a dream.
It was.
You know what? They really shouldn't have let Dorothy go to sleep with a concussion.
No, they shouldn't have.
It was irresponsible.
Doctors rule against that.
They do. Got to keep them up.
But, you know, they had other things on their mind, Austin, because there was a tornado. The house was spinning in the air.
There's a woman riding a bike through that.
I guess you have to place priorities. Well, this will be easier if Dorothy's just asleep, but we'll deal with that later.
1955, Hurricane Connie finally dissipates along the eastern seaboard, but she did plenty of damage along the way, killing 77 people. 55 years ago today, in 1969, the Woodstock Music Festival opened in Bethel, New York. It was held in the pastures of dairy farmer Max Yasgur. He had 600 acres of land, and more than 400,000 people filled those pastures for 3 days, listening to the likes of Jefferson Airplane, The Who, Grateful Dead, Janis Joplin, Jimi Hendrix, and CCR. Despite what you may have heard, no alcohol or illegal drugs were present at Woodstock.
Yeah.
Definitely no illegal drugs.
And the Wizard of Oz was not a dream. That was real.
That was based on a true story, Beam. 10 years later, in 1979, Apocalypse Now, the Vietnam War film directed by Francis Ford Coppola, opened in theaters around the country. Great cast. Martin Sheen, Marlon Brando,
It's
Robert
kind of a
Duvall.
it's a creepy movie.
Yes, it is.
When they're
Beam.
going upriver and they've all lost their minds. Like, I don't know exactly where they're at in
Vietnam.
I know. Well, thank you, Shark. when they finally like get up to like the highest checkpoint that they're at, like then it becomes real weird.
Mm-hmm.
I can't wait with all the sequels going around Hollywood now. Apocalypse Later.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's going to be
45 years later.
It's going to be great.
1993, Nolan Ryan of the Texas Rangers picked up his 324th career victory in a 4-1 win over the Indians. It would be his final victory as a major leaguer. 2008, American Ryan Lochte set a world record swimming the 200-meter backstroke in a time of 1:53.94 seconds at the Beijing Olympics. Birthdays today. Future Emperor of France, Napoleon Bonaparte, born in 1769. He is not alive today. 1933.
It's going to be tough to be the future emperor then.
Yeah. 1933, country music singer Bobby Helms was born. You ever hear of him?
No.
Bobby Helms, his most famous song, Jingle Bell, Jingle Bell, Jingle Bell Rock.
I thought that was Santa who sang that.
Former Twins manager Tom Kelly is 74 today. He won a couple of World Series titles. Former Texans and Broncos head coach Gary Kubiak is 63. Bill Gates' ex-wife Melinda is 60 and very wealthy. Grace of Will and Grace, Deborah Messing, is 56. Actor and director Ben Affleck is 52 today. You might remember him from The Town.
So I've been telling all my friends about you.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
All good, I hope. They say they're overcome with jealousy. They can't believe your luck. You moved to Charlestown, hooked up with a rock-breaking townie.
No, they just think it's a rebound. A rebound from what? The robbery? I don't know.
It's a good day. I'm having a good time.
She didn't know it, but he was the one that robbed.
It's true.
Another spoiler.
Yeah.
Jeez.
What a great movie that is.
It is really good.
I mean,
I wonder.
intense.
I wonder though how many. If Ben Affleck's like, you know me from The Town, or if he's like maybe Good Will Hunting or
a bad version of Batman.
Argo.
Argo's a great movie. Meredith, we watched Argo in theaters, and Meredith didn't know what happened in the Iranian heist
here comes another spoiler.
Hostess crisis, and
was not based on a true story.
And she, literally the whole time, she's like biting her fingernails and going crazy. She's like, "Oh my god, that ending! Did you see that coming?" I'm like, "Well, yes, I saw it coming. It's history."
Like watching the Titanic. I didn't know that happened.
Oh no.
Beach volleyball star Carrie Walsh is 46. She won 3 Olympic gold medals. Actress Jennifer Lawrence is 34. We call her Katniss Everdeen.
Primrose Everdeen.
Prim! I volunteer! I volunteer as tribute.
I believe we have a volunteer.
You need to get out of here. You need to get out of here.
No.
Go find Mom.
No.
Prim, go find Mom right now.
No.
I'm so sorry.
No! Dramatic turn of events. District 12's very first volunteer. What's your name?
Katniss Everdeen.
Well, I bet my hat that was your sister, wasn't it?
Yes.
Let's have a big hand for our very first volunteer, Katniss Everdeen.
That's a crazy movie.
Another spoiler alert. She goes on to win the Hunger
Shark,
Games.
we're just spoiling all kinds of
If you are up at 6:15 this morning listening to the Morning Juice and thinking that this is a spoiler-free zone, you are mistaken.
You're wrong.
We're going everything, every movie. We're going to spoil the ending. Wait till we get to The Sixth Sense.
Well, at least that came out 12 years ago. Last week, our listeners were mad at us for giving up Olympic results 36 hours after they happened. Anyway, that is what happened on this date, August the 15th.
Good job on that, Sharky, as always. Yeah, what else are we going to spoil today?
We got a lot.
We do. It's going to be the next 2 hours and 45 minutes. We're doing all spoilers. Will Ryan Day, name a starting quarterback.
Spoiler.
A little over 5 hours away from now. That's next. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning. Traveling in and around Columbus, you're going to find traffic volumes just beginning to pick up out there. On the west outer belt, northbound at Cemetery Road, there is a crash, and your 2 left lanes are blocked here. Also, there's work on Delaware, both directions between Warrensburg Road and South Section Line Road. Plan for some lane restrictions and total closures at times. There is a posted detour. I'm Heather Pasco for 97.1, The Fan Traffic.
Excuse me, waiter. There's a hair in my soup. A long purple hair.
I'm so sorry. I'll get the manager.
I'm the manager. How can I help?
Wait, weren't you the Plum Insurance mascot?
What gave it away? My long purple fur?
Something like that.
What if all insurance companies were like NJM and were known for putting their policyholders first, not gimmicks? Then all those insurance mascots would have to get real jobs.
I'll pass on dessert.
No jingles or mascots, just great insurance. NJM.
At AAA, it's our policy to look on the plus side, and AAA Plus members tend to take the same view. Take Martin. Last Monday, his coffee surprised him with an extra 10 degrees of Fahrenheit. It was just the jolt of energy he needed. Later, when he walked into a door, he was happy to provide entertainment for his coworkers.
I'm okay.
And when his car battery took early retirement, he knew expert roadside assistance was only a call away.
Hello, AAA.
Become a AAA Plus member and experience peace of mind on the plus side. Towing is subject to a 7-day waiting period. Terms and conditions apply.
The buying experience at Rosati Windows is very, very important to me. We try to make it an enjoyable process. I learned business from my grandfather, and my grandfather was all about customer service. That's all I know. We're not there to high pressure you. We're not going to give you a special deal if you buy tonight. We sell a quality product at a fair price. I want you to be happy when we're done.
Call Rosati Windows today at 777-4806.
Hey, Bobby Carpenter here for my friends at Affinity Whole Health. Affinity is the leader in testosterone and hormone replacement therapy, but they are also much more than that. They help men and women who are experiencing things like low energy, low libido, muscle loss, and weight gain. Turn it all around. You can feel amazing and live better, just like I can. It can be delivered right to your door, which is tremendous. Semaglutide for weight loss and testosterone and hormone replacement therapy for so much more. I've been a customer for years, and it works. Get started at feelgreatcolumbus.com.
The Buckeye Show.
We finally found our CJ Stroud rookie card. The CJ rookie cards are going like crazy.
He's single-handedly saved Panini's football products for 2023.
The Buckeye Show.
Sponsored by CareSource.
Weeknights at 6 on The Fan.
Common Man and T-Bone here. Visit Hollywood Casino Columbus this summer for exciting live sports action. We got the biggest screens around, and ESPN Bet is live in Ohio.
Plus, Penn Play Rewards members can win up to $500 Penn Cash every week. Visit PennPlaySports.com/cover5 today and register for your chance to play and win.
Not a member? Get the Penn Play app today.
Hollywood Casino Columbus is your live sports headquarters.
Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Hey folks, Bobby Carpenter here. If you're ready to tackle any adventure, check out these unbeatable offers from Germain Toyota. Get behind the wheel of a rugged Toyota Tundra with 0% financing for 60 months. Yeah, that's right, 0%. Or if you're looking for something a bit more compact but just as awesome, lease the all-new 2024 Toyota Tacoma for just $329 a month for 36 months. These deals are rolling out so fast, so don't wait. Visit Germain Toyota on the corner of I-70 and Bryce Road or online at germaintoyota.net.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy real estate as is fast for cash. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-472-2000, 614-472-2000. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family. I even buy my tenants won't pay me the rent houses. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-472-2000, 614-472-2000.
Depression and anxiety are the most common complications of pregnancy, childbirth, and the postpartum period. In fact, mental health conditions are the leading cause of pregnancy-related deaths here in Ohio. That's why new efforts were recently highlighted at the state's capital to increase awareness, enhance services, and bolster legislative support to ensure better perinatal mental health outcomes statewide and in your home. To learn more about how you can support Ohio moms and help improve birth outcomes, visit womeningovernment.org.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Increasing clouds today with a high around 87. As we go through tonight, we are looking at a cloudy sky with a low 66. Tomorrow, scattered showers, high 87. And then on Saturday, isolated showers with a high of 84. I'm meteorologist Dylan Robichaud with your 10 TV weather impact forecast on 97.1 The Fan.
FanDuel is the exclusive online sportsbook partner of Morning Juice. Just sign up at FanDuel.com/juice. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Counting down the days until Shark's retirement. You are listening to Morning Juice.
Hey, we've got some good news for you. If you've always wanted a Fan t-shirt and didn't know what to do, well, your solution solved. It's the new Fan Store. Go to 971thefan.com, click on the Fan Store grand opening graphic, and boom, you're in. Fan Store grand opening happening right now at 971thefan.com. All right, Austin.
Yes.
A little over 5 hours away from right now.
Mm-hmm.
Ryan Day will enter the Woody Hayes team meeting room.
Sure will.
And I think we're expecting an update on the quarterback battle.
We are.
Do you believe, about 5 hours and 10 minutes away from right now, that Ryan Day will be naming a starting quarterback at Ohio State?
The only uncertainty I have is whether he's just going to walk in and say it in the opening comments, or if someone is going to have to ask him first. That's the only uncertainty for me. Will Howard is going to be the starting quarterback at Ohio State. We're going to hear that today. I am very confident in both of those things, and I've been predicting for weeks that it would happen today. So must be right.
So today's the day.
Today's the day.
Today's the day that we think that we're going to hear a Will Howard announcement.
I think we will, and I think that he pretty much did that already last week when Ryan Day is talking about the control, the command, the poise in the pocket, all those things, the improvements that he's made, that Will Howard has made physically, all those things. He was walking right up to that line, and I would bet that the team has already picked up on that throughout this week. That, coming out of the scrimmage, it hasn't been that Devin Brown has done anything wrong at all. He's had a very good camp, and
better than last year.
Oh, way better than last year. And I've tried to make that point. You and I've had this conversation before. Talked with Bobby, a lot of you guys on Friday about this. Like, you can only compare Devin Brown to himself. It doesn't really do you any benefit to be like, well, this versus Will Howard, especially back in the spring. Now, of course, you have to evaluate that when you're making a decision about who's going to be the starting quarterback. I'm not pretending like you can't. You have to look at both of your options. But when I'm talking about the elevation of Devin Brown, that is not in relation to Will Howard. That's in relation to himself. I think that the improvement of the quarterback room as a whole from right now, August 15th, compared to August 15th a year ago, or this was the point of the year where Ryan Day had circled and said, well, I'd like to have somebody named so that you can start narrowing down the reps and start getting ready, building a game plan, getting ready for Indiana. That didn't happen. We were in the middle of August a year ago, and the conversation on the day like this, in the middle of dog days of training camp, was, well, one guy would take the lead, and then the other would come right back. We'd see some things we liked, and we'd see some things we didn't like, and it would go back and forth. That's not the way this has played out, which is really good for Ohio State overall. It's not ideal for Devin Brown specifically if what we're expecting to happen in 5 hours does happen, that it may not be enough for him to overcome the experience, the poise, the command, the control, the physical tools that Will Howard brings to the position. That he might be the only one who doesn't get exactly what he wants out of this situation. But I think that Devin Brown has clearly shown a willingness to not just stick around, but to play whatever meaningful role he can. And there's going to be one. You're the backup quarterback for a national title contender. You don't have to look very far for meaningful stories of what that means for the Buckeyes. So we talked about that with Bill Landis yesterday on the Morning Juice, that, will Ryan Day go one step further and clearly say Will Howard is the starter and Devin Brown is the backup, and this is the way that we're going to attack reps and game plans and get ready for August 31st.
Well, yeah, because, now, think about it. It's August 15th. You're 16 days away, from the season opener happening. Now I know that camp still goes on for another week. Those guys are getting ready to get out of the hotel. They're excited about it to kind of get some sort of normalcy back in their life. School's starting, and then you become, a college athlete once again. You're not going to locked up and doing the same thing over and over and over and over again, and that'll happen next week. But I just feel like at this point last year, you're 1,000% correct. Even leading into the Indiana game, we had no clue what this was going to look like. Are you going to ride the hot hand? Kyle McCord, he's going to start the game. Then Devin Brown comes in. What's the difference? Okay, are both these guys, how long is this quarterback battle going to last? And it lasted far too long.
Yeah.
And now with Devin Brown being I don't want to say viable backup, but probably pretty darn good backup quarterback at Ohio State, I give a lot of credit to him because it's so easy to tuck tail and run some other place now in college football, and there's no signs and indications that he's going to do that.
There's part of me that finds that more fascinating for Ohio State and for Ryan Day's press conference today because everyone has been, I won't say everyone, certainly the perception has been you go out and you get Will Howard, who's won a Big 12 championship, who's got a lengthy resume of starts and experience at the Power 5 level, who would have been drafted into the NFL in April if that had been the choice that he made. Everyone, the wide assumption was that he was going to win this job eventually, and it wouldn't have made much sense for Ohio State to go get him if that wasn't the case. Now, but the flip side of that was that Devin Brown made this a conversation into August.
Mm-hmm.
You know, was there a point where he was really close to overtaking and surpassing? I don't think this month that was true, but in March and April, when Will Howard was getting some, going through some growing pains. I use that term loosely for someone his age, but
I think everybody was too on this offense too, because remember, Chip Kelly came into the offseason, and it's not that you're running an entirely different offense, but I'm sure some of the verbiage has changed. I'm sure some of the mechanics have changed. Some of the pre-snap reads that these guys are going to go through, some of that changes. And so Devin Brown being here at Ohio State for a couple of years, he's also having to learn kind of the integration of Chip Kelly.
Yeah, and I think that was more dramatic of a change for Will Howard than it was for Devin Brown initially, because you spend 4 years in an offense, like the Kansas State offense, would just be real, does not come with the complexity or anywhere near the success or skill position players. Like there was a transition period there for Will Howard that was noticeable, which is also why if you're comparing Will Howard now to Will Howard 6 months ago, you can see clear improvement, undeniable improvement, and why there's reason for optimism there. But I think Devin Brown also deserves credit for that, because there wasn't a world where Will Howard got to show up in March and April and here you go.
He wasn't anointed. He wasn't handed the keys.
Here's the number one reps. Go do it and work through your issues. He had to, I think he was motivated by the fact that Devin Brown was, and still was, even when they started camp, the 5 practices that we watched, Devin Brown in individual periods early in practice, he was still going first. Once they got to team stuff and 7-on-7 in the last week or so, you were seeing Will Howard getting those reps. But Ohio State had someone who had 2 years of experience in the program, physical development, a mentality that people love, a leadership skill that people love inside the Woody. This was not a situation where Will Howard got to just be complacent. Here you go. Here's the NIL money. You came in the transfer portal. You were going to be an NFL draft pick in some form or fashion. This is your team. That wasn't the case. And I think that should mean more to Ryan Day, Chip Kelly, Will Howard, Devin Brown as well, in terms of understanding maybe the situation and his role. This was settled on the field.
And that would go against everything Ohio State stand for or not given. Like if you came in here, didn't know any of your teammates, then all of a sudden it's like, this guy's a starting quarterback. You get out practice there and it's like, this guy stinks.
Yeah.
Like that. I don't think that wouldn't have flown over with the team. It wouldn't have flown over with the coaches. It wouldn't have gone over with anybody here. And so hopefully today we get an announcement. We're now 5 hours away.
We will.
5 hours away from Ryan Day. Well, we're expecting to name a starting quarterback here at Ohio State. Then the fun begins. Then it all begins from there. Our friend from down in the Queen City, Lindsay Patterson, she joins us. What should we expect out of these 2024 Cincinnati Bengals? She's next. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
An accident is causing some stop-and-go delays even for the early drive. On the West Outer Belt northbound at Cemetery Road, the 2 left lanes are blocked here, and that's why I'm seeing some slowdowns. You'll find just a little bit of extra time needed there. Overall, traffic volumes are just building through the region. Looks like as you travel on 670 from 70 to 270, it's just under a 10-minute drive. I'm Heather Pasco for 97.1, The Fan Traffic.
CBUS Top Picks Best Credit Union, BMI Federal Credit Union has 47 financial coaches to help you meet your financial needs and goals. Visit bmifcu.org/coach to get started today.
Pain from arthritis can be just awful. That constant pain that's nagging. Listen, I've experienced it. I don't like it. It was in my knee, but it's feeling better now because it robs you of the stuff you want to do. But there's effective ways to deal with that pain, and my dad and I can both tell you about it. We were able to get lasting relief without medication or surgery. Listen, there's exciting new cellular therapies that can get you lasting relief, and the place that we went was QC Kinetics right here in Columbus. We went and saw Dr. Ray Tesner and his team at QC. They used their cutting-edge treatments to accelerate our own body's healing properties. His knee was bothering him. He couldn't walk around the way he wanted to. Him and my mom liked to take walks. He was able to go through their treatment protocol and feel so much better. I was able to get it on my knee, and I can move around again. It was the relief from that chronic pain that you don't really enjoy at all. So learn how QC Kinetics can use advanced regenerative medicine to treat your pain. So go check them out at qckinetics.com/Columbus. Give them a call at 380-208-4544. They have 3 offices in Dublin, Gahanna, or Grove City.
I'm Rick Julius, a partner at Cordell & Cordell. As a business owner in today's economy, it's your job to anticipate constant market changes. But what do you do in the event of a divorce? Your assets and finances are scrutinized. Years of hard work building a business are on the line. This is not business as usual. You need an experienced partner you can count on for help. We're Cordell & Cordell.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Columbus area attorneys. 10 West Broad Street, Suite 1550, Columbus, Ohio, 43215. CordellCordell.com.
Hey friends, Brandon Beam over here from my great friends over at Wendy's. And Wendy's new saucy nugs, well, they're here. That means the best nugs in the entire game are now even better. You can choose between Wendy's iconic crispy or spicy nugs covered in bold, flavorful sauces, including buffalo, honey barbecue, garlic parm, and even spicy ghost pepper. Eat them with a fork, eat them with your hands, eat them for lunch, eat them after midnight. There's no wrong answer. For a whole new way to nug, it's got to be Wendy's. Open till midnight or later at participating U.S. Wendy's. Hours may vary by location.
Time for Cleveland Browns preseason football, baby. Catch the Brownies and Vikings live from the land.
Live coverage starts Saturday at 4.
Your Central Ohio home for Browns football. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
When there's a United Dairy Farmers nearby, fan favorites are too. Score a set of 6 Cincinnati Reds player cups for $19.99. Ellie, Green, India, Steer, Diaz, and McLean cups only at UDF while supplies last.
This week, find hot summer deals in one stop at Meijer. Shop locally grown sweet corn, 5 for $2, pork butt for $1.69 per pound, and hamburger helper for just $1. Plus, earn M-Perks points every time you shop for groceries, apparel, and at the pump. You even earn points at the Meijer Pharmacy, so schedule your flu shot today. Available now. Meijer has all you need in just one stop, and the same low Meijer prices in-store and online. Exclusions apply. See all deals in-store or in the Meijer app.
Score a goal with the Love My Crew checking account from Pathways, the checking account that rewards you for supporting the crew. Learn more at pathwayscu.com. Pathways Financial Credit Union, official credit union of the Columbus Crew, federally insured by NCUA.
Progressive presents 10 things on a food truck owner's to-do list that are harder than getting a commercial auto insurance quote. Stocking the fridge, prepping the stations, finding employees that get along well, finding employees that actually do their job. Looking at you, Gary. Balancing the books, balancing the flavors, having a fresh menu and fresh produce and fresh meat, but never a fresh mouth. But the easiest thing on a small business owner's to-do list? Seeing if you can save on commercial auto insurance. Get a quote in as little as 7 minutes at progressivecommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Coverage subject to policy terms and conditions.
Need assistance with door and window projects? The Home Depot can help. From inspiration and materials to ordering and installation, our free millwork virtual apron service can get you moving and doing. Plus, we speak Spanish too. Our associates can help you tackle complex jobs without you leaving the job site, saving you time and money. Call us at 1-833-HD-APRON or visit homedepot.com/MVA. The Home Depot, how doers get more done.
Morning Juice is sponsored by Affinity Whole Health, the leader in testosterone and hormone replacement therapy. FeelGreatColumbus.com. The Fan.
You're listening to Rob Manfred's least favorite radio show. This is Morning Juice.
Here's along here, a little Thursday edition of the program. Brandon Beam, Austin Ward, Mark the Shark. Right now we head out to the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline, checking with our good friend from town of the Queen City. From WKRQ, always game day in Cincinnati, she is Lindsay Patterson. Linz, happy football season. How are we feeling heading into what's expected to be a very exciting 2024 season for the Cincinnati Bengals?
I'm ready to go. I feel like fall in the air this morning.
Absolutely, it does. It feels really good outside. Bengals in Chicago this weekend for the preseason. Are we going to see the starters again for a drive this weekend, Lindsay? Is that the plan?
No starters for game 2. There's a chance we may see them for the finale against the Colts next week, but no major starters in this game.
Lindsay, Beam was really just trying to ease you into this without having to go straight to Jamar Chase. Like, that's got to be.
Yeah, I was trying, Lindsay. I was trying to. We were trying to just take a step into the water without jumping into the deep end.
But I can't do that, as with my whole household being invested in the Bengals, and I know that's where your attention has to go, the Jamar Chase saga. Like, how is this going to resolve itself?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how it's going. I will just say this. Jamar Chase is going to play week 1 for the Cincinnati Bengals in regular season. When he returns to practice in his gear, I do not know. I feel so down the middle because, one, he's under contract for the next 2 years. And I was expecting the Bengals to extend him next offseason, around training camp time. That's when they normally get it done. But I also think they could get a really nice little discount if they extend him now, and discount in parentheses because he's going to get paid a huge bag. But it's only going to go up more next year if they do decide to wait. So if he wants to get paid now, I would love for the team and Jamar to get it worked out, because then you're already done. Add 4 more years on top of it, and you're good to go. You got your wide receiver paid. But at the same time, the Bengals angle is, hey, he's under contract for 2 more years. We're going to revisit this next year. That was always the plan. The Cincinnati Bengals will pay Jamar Chase. It's one of their easiest decisions that they've ever had. Did I think they were going to pay T. Higgins about a year ago? 100%. But Jamar Chase, I feel like this is the one that, that they're not paying a whole lot of other guys, and they have a lot of money, and they keep getting money. So I think for the Cincinnati Bengals, I would be surprised if they paid Jamar Chase this offseason. But it would be a good problem to have if they were able to get it done. The good news is Jamar Chase wasn't at practice, and he's been at every single practice. He just doesn't participate. Same thing for preseason games. He's been on the sideline. He wasn't at practice on Tuesday. They were off on Wednesday because they were traveling to Chicago, and he was on the plane with them. So he is in Chicago. They have a joint practice today. I just don't know when Jamar Chase returns to practice right now.
Lindsay, how much, and I know that they were all teammates down at LSU, and Joe Burrow got the deal last offseason, and here we sit talking about Justin Jefferson getting a deal this year. I mean, how much of that is Justin Jefferson resetting the market and Jamar Chase saying, well, look at what my guy JJ got. I'm worth every penny of that.
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, even Jamar has talked about that when talking about Justin Jefferson's contract. I want to say towards the end of last season, and he was like, "Yeah, of course I want to get a little more than that." And for him, Justin Jefferson was drafted a class early, so it was time, and he was able to get his bag. And Jamar will get his bag, but I think for the Cincinnati Bengals in their front office, they're just at the viewpoint of, "Hey, you're under contract this year. We'll pick your 5th-year option up too, which probably won't even use because we're going to extend you and you're going to get even more money." But for him and the Cincinnati Bengals, I just don't know what those talks sound like in the back, because to be honest, there's not a lot of agent talk or anything like that going to the insiders. It's just Jamar Chase isn't out there. And, of course, he wants a contract extension, but it's nothing too crazy because he's been showing up. And I think Tuesday, him not being there and Zach Taylor saying, he's day-to-day, it was a huge question mark. Like, what's going on? Are they going to figure it out, or is Jamar going to do a real holdout? So to be determined on what that looks like when they do get back to Cincinnati, but he is in Chicago. Of course, Jamar looks at his friend and says, I want to get paid now. But I just don't think it's going to happen this offseason.
Lindsay, feels like an annual tradition for there to be new and less than exciting ways for the offensive line to come into focus for Cincinnati. What's the latest going on there with right tackle and Marius Mims injury and where they go forward heading into the season?
Yeah, it's really unfortunate with Amarius because he was having a great camp. He was obviously getting a lot of reps while Trent Brown was out, and he looked pretty good on that first drive. Again, they were playing the backups of Tampa, so it's really hard to determine, and it was preseason, but it's been really good for him and the communication and being with the other guys out there, and they really, taking him under his wing. So unfortunately, he's out for several weeks to be determined on when he's going to be good to go. So far, Trent Brown has been right into the rotation, obviously has all the experience in the world, but the biggest thing is of availability with Trent Brown, and you want him to be able to stay healthy while Amarius is getting back on his feet. So to be determined on what that looks like when Amarius is healthy again. But right now, Trent Brown has been the guy, and we'll see how it looks overall, but it would be really nice for Joe Burrow to have an offensive line that can help protect him while he's out there.
She is Lindsay Patterson with us here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. Linz, what's going on with Jackson Carman? It doesn't take a pro scout to watch that and say that was not a great performance from him in their first preseason game. Just what's the situation revolving around him? Because I think they dropped down or went up to get him a couple of years ago in the draft.
Yeah, I feel like Jackson Carman has 9 lives, to be honest, when you think about him and his opportunities with this offensive line. I mean, he was even able to play at the biggest moments in the playoffs and, just really hasn't produced for this team when given the opportunities. When you have 4 penalties in a preseason game against backups, that's really not going to help you make the roster. And he played a lot in the preseason game, and I think that's really telling for this team. When it comes to depth, you obviously want a lot of depth on your team on the offensive line, and he's had that minor experience playing in big games, so I'm sure it's hard to cut ties when it comes to that. But for the Cincinnati Bengals, it's really unfortunate to look back at that draft class because they moved back and there were other offensive line players who are successful in the NFL right now, and they missed out on that opportunity, took the local guy, and he really just hasn't lived up to anything on the offensive line. It's really an unfortunate pick. I guess I would be a little surprised if he makes the roster, but I also know that O-line depth is really important to them, and they're not really going to get anything on the trade market for him.
The good news for Bengals fans, though, Lindsay, is that the last few years, as we know, notoriously slow starters out of the gates. Now, this year's schedule is pretty favorable. I don't want to do like the win-loss game because that's one of our favorite things to do here. Just pointing at teams in the schedule, say, oh, that's a win for the Bengals. That's a loss for the Bengals. But the first 3 out of their first 4 are pretty good. Home against the Pats to open things up on September 8th. You then go to Arrowhead, which is weird. I thought that would have been a late season game. Home against the Commanders, then at the Panthers. That's as easily as navigatable as any NFL schedule for the expectations that the Bengals come into the year having, right?
Yeah, that was one of the biggest things about starting them in the preseason game. And, it was 1 drive, and maybe Joe plays in the last preseason game, which I hope he doesn't. I think overall that is extremely important just to get off to a really good start. You're playing at home, you're opening at home, and, it's been crazy because those 2 years that Joe was fully healthy and they were able to go, they had slow starts. They end up, really getting it going in October and November, and that's just kind of how it works for them. But it's kind of just stale. You need to get off and get a win at home, and obviously playing at Arrowhead is never easy, but it really just gives you the opportunity to get that game out of the way. And, maybe you get your first road win of the season. So I think all of that is extremely important for the team. And overall, I mean, the most important thing I feel when I think about the Cincinnati Bengals roster, if Joe Burrow's healthy, I always believe in this team. And that's always going to be the biggest question mark going into the season. As long as he's healthy, all the confidence in the world, that they can produce and be one of the top teams in the AFC.
Lindsay just made Austin smile, and I'm sure his wife and daughter at home, he's very happy, very excited about the season. Always appreciate it, Lindsay. You're the best. Have a fantastic remainder of the week, and we'll check in again soon, all right?
Good to talk to you guys.
You too. There she goes, Lindsay Patterson, WKRQ, always game day in Cincinnati, with us here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. The white smoke is coming out of the chimneys. The United States men's national team have apparently found their next head coach. That's next. Morning Juice right here on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Traffic's a little slow because of a crash on South High Street at London Groveport. Plan for delays from Row Road. Good news, though, on the West Outer Belt, the accident there northbound at Cemetery Road has cleared. So traffic there is moving a bit better. Taking a look on the west side, traffic 270 at Roberts Road is just building, and the roads here are dry. You're actually moving pretty well in either direction. I'm Heather Pasco for 97.1, The Fan Traffic.
Common Man and T-Bone here. Visit Hollywood Casino Columbus this summer for exciting live sports action. We got the biggest screens around, and ESPN Bet is live in Ohio.
Plus, Penn Play Rewards members can win up to $500 Penn Cash every week. Visit PennPlaySports.com/cover5 today and register for your chance to play and win.
Not a member? Get the Penn Play app today.
Hollywood Casino Columbus is your live sports headquarters.
Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Hi, this is Justin Hinderer. Come see us at John Hinderer Ford in Washington Courthouse for the best selection of new and pre-owned vehicles in Fayette County. We're all in on America and proud to be your Ford AgPack dealer. Don't forget to ask about our convenience and mobile service at the home of the lifetime powertrain guarantee, including engine, transmission, rear differential, and drive shaft on all qualifying vehicles. John Hinderer Ford, just off 62 at Washington Courthouse, or hindererford.net. We love what moves you.
Hey, Buckeye fans, ready for the chance to win one of 12 ultimate Buckeye experiences? As the official wing sponsor of Ohio State Athletics, Roosters is kicking off an incredible giveaway you won't want to miss. We're talking tickets, sideline passes, a trip for two to the Oregon game, and exclusive access to the Ryan Day Coaches Show. Go to roosterswings.com to register and see all the details. 3 drawings, 12 winners. Register today and every day. Roosters, a fun, casual joint.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use, now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career and they talked to me about it.
He was done in just months.
I did do it online.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months with zero experience at My Computer Career.
It worked for me and I know it can work for you.
It's not rocket science. It's mycomputercareer.edu. Your Saturdays are now full, and Sundays. And don't forget about Monday and Thursdays, too. You know the drill. It's football season. We are your home for the Buckeyes, Browns, and the NFL. If you change the channel, you're a loser. The Fan.
There's a place where mishaps don't mean missing out. Welcome to AAA's The Plus Side, where a AAA Plus membership means that an empty gas tank won't keep you from a full day. Where a flat tire doesn't have to deflate your mood. Where being locked out doesn't mean you'll be out of luck for long. And where a dead battery can't stop you from being the life of the party.
Looks like you're all set here. Have a good rest of the day.
Because on the plus side, roadside mishaps don't have to ruin your day. With AAA Plus, you're covered with the gold standard in roadside assistance, whenever and wherever you need it. Tire changes, battery swaps, and emergency fuel are just a tap, click, or call away. AAA gets to you faster, and if you need a tow, we'll take you further, anywhere within 100 miles. Become a AAA Plus member today and experience the peace of mind that comes when you live on the plus side. Towing is subject to a 7-day waiting period. Terms and conditions apply. Service is only available from AAA and CAA in North America.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym for a while.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone.
Lower T?
Yeah, I went through it a while back. Once you hit 40, your body has less free testosterone. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The key ingredient is something called Tesnor, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again. At work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text.
Text ALL to 321-321 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T, the #1 selling testosterone booster at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast. Absolutely free. Text ALL to 321-321. That's all to 321-321.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
We'll start off sunny, but the clouds do increase as we head throughout the morning hours. 87 today, and unfortunately, the humidity will be higher today as well. Tonight will be cloudy with a low of 66, and then isolated showers on Friday with a high of 87. I'm meteorologist Dylan Robichaud with your 10 TV weather impact forecasts on 97.1 The Fan.
Want to know anything about the Fans contest, how to win, or what's up for grabs? Check out 971thefan.com. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Beamer and Shark love baseball. Bobby wants to murder Rob Manfred with his bare hands. See? A little something for everyone. This is Morning Juice.
We're here on The Juice, brought to you by our good friends over at Affinity Whole Health, the leader in testosterone and hormone replacement therapy. You can always visit them on the line at feelgreatcolumbus.com. Good news. Our great engineer, Ben, came in and fixed the dad screen. Ben, I know you're listening back there. Now our talkback button's broken. Come back. Come back, Ben. Come back. Please come back. Get one. thought we were good to go for the rest of the day.
Hey.
Now the talkback is stuck.
We're just jumping in the plane. We're going to fly it.
Absolutely. And Ben will fix everything because he's capable, and we are not.
Morning Juice presents Quick Hitters.
All right, Sharky.
Yes, sir. Happy Thursday, gentlemen. Both of you are soccer fans, so don't laugh at me over the pronunciation, but Mauricio Pochettino.
Yes!
Very nice.
Nailed it.
Has agreed to become the new head coach of the U.S. men's national team. He is 52 years old, left Chelsea earlier this summer and replaces Greg Berhalter, Austin's best friend, who was fired earlier this year. Beamer, thumbs up or thumbs down for Mr. Pochettino?
Thumbs up. It's a thumbs up for sure. It's a real soccer manager. It's a real soccer coach. Not to say like nobody in America could. I would have been thrilled if you were able to hire Jesse Marsh away from Canada. And that guy's an American. He's coached all over the place. Listen, things went south with Greg Berhalter. You had an opportunity with him in January after his contract ran up to say, Greg, thank you for your time. We're going to move into a different direction. He had some drama going on with one of his players and players' families. It would have been a very easy time for the U.S. men's national team and the Soccer Federation for them to just cut ties with Greg Berhalter and go somewhere else. Now, they didn't do that. Copa America was pretty much an unfettered disaster. You have the World Cup staring you down the barrel here in less than 2 years' time. It's going to be played in the United States, in Canada, in Mexico. Is it a good hire, Shark? The way that he coaches, I think, is great. He always leans into the young players. Always. We'll lean in to the younger players. We'll give them opportunities. So to have a new set of eyeballs on Americans and which players can help the team out moving forward, I think that's great. His style of play is very different than Greg Berhalter. It's not a sit back and draw in pressure kind of system like Greg Berhalter was. It is more, we're going to go on the counterattack and we are going to press. Like, they are a very high press team. They like to cause chaos and they like to do different things. Now, the only problem with this is that Mauricio Pochettino did not necessarily get along with Christian Pulisic while they were at Chelsea, and Christian Pulisic is your big star. I would like to think that those two gentlemen will move past this, but yeah, I think it's a terrific hire.
I sure hope that they can, because Christian Pulisic is going to remain a critical part of the 2026 roster. That's not changing anytime soon, so they better figure that part out. And I'd like to think that they can. They're both in a different point in their career than they were 4 years ago, so there's a chance to learn and grow and mature, and we need that to happen for the United States to succeed. Is this a guarantee that the U.S. is going to thrive under this system? Nope. But that's not why I'm happy about it. I'm pleased that they're taking a real swing at someone who's had success at a very high level that's not just in the United States. And that had not happened for Greg Berhalter and was not going to happen under Greg Berhalter. I don't know why anyone had convinced themselves that it was. You and I both have had this conversation, I'm sure, multiple times with Patrick Murphy, our good friend, covers the crew, big-time soccer guy, and you guys probably have done this more frequently. That he was on the opposite side of the Greg Berhalter argument as me. And
well, Pat's always wrong, so.
Well, let's hope that he is in this case. But I'm just excited that they are actually branching outside of the U.S. soccer tree and letting someone else come in with an influence. And that the last time this happened with Jurgen Klinsmann, it worked tremendously and had the greatest period of success that they've had. He overstayed his welcome, and that happens a lot on the international stage. But the point is, fresh set of eyes with still a lot of talent on the U.S. national team is a big deal.
Golf's FedEx Cup playoffs begin today in Memphis with the St. Jude Championship. We start with 70 golfers, then trim the field to 50 next week, and then 30 for the finale. There's really no good way to do the playoffs in golf that makes any sense, and theoretically somebody who finishes 67th in the FedEx Cup standings can get hot for 3 weeks and win the championship. Sure. Scotty Scheffler has a huge lead in those standings going in, but he's not going to have a huge advantage by the time Eastlake arrives in a couple of weeks. Even Scheffler said yesterday, Austin, that this format is silly.
I think it's an improvement over what they had initially when the idea for the FedEx Cup playoffs were coming around, and like every tournament's the same. And then, oh, guess what? You won the last event. You're the tour champion. Like that. I think this is better.
But still, if you win the tour championship, you are the champion. You're just staggered at
least
start.
They've staggered it. Like, it wasn't that way before. And they're trying to reward season-long excellence. And maybe the entire premise is faulty. Golf is a sport that may not need a playoff. Although I think that they've done a nice job of assigning meaning to some of these events that might normally fall by the wayside. Would anybody, with any of these guys in the top 30, be wanting to play in Memphis this week in the heat and grind in August? They probably wouldn't. So they found a way to get the best players on the PGA Tour. There's the long-standing, ongoing debate about having everyone back together with LIV. That's not going to be resolved anytime soon by the looks of it. But you want to have the top players in the same field for several weeks in a row, and they've found a way to do that. It took a lot of money. They still may not have done it in a way that makes the most sense for the way golf is normally played. Getting to the last week and having Scottie Scheffler start 10 under does seem silly, but it was sillier when everyone started on the same footing if you were trying to put some stock into what they had done previous.
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't know how you solve this. I don't know how, and I wouldn't consider it a problem, but I don't know how you fix it and make it fair for rewarding a season like Scotty's. Other than just saying, Scotty,
12-team playoff.
You're the 12-team playoff, 5 automatic qualifiers. Notre Dame won't even get into this playoff as an automatic bye. I really don't know how they fix this. And I thought it was interesting. I was listening to Rory a little bit earlier, and he was like, "Is it silly? Yeah, sure. Does it make me feel good because I'm not in first? Yeah, sure, because I still have an opportunity to go out there and win." So, I mean, Scottie Scheffler calling it silly, yeah, because he should be up. If they were doing like money lists, he should be up by like 20 million strokes or whatever it is, however much he's earned this year. Now, that's not going to be the case. He's going to take a 2-shot lead into Eastlake. Second on the FedEx Cup, starts at 8 under. I believe like that's already going to be a tough task enough when you give Scottie Scheffler a multiple shot lead over you to start the tournament. But yeah, we'll see. But I did think Rory's comments were pretty good. Like, I don't know how we fix it, but I'm okay with it because I might be able to come back from behind here. One player for the Cleveland Browns. He feels all the love. We'll do that in the re-rack coming up next. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Traffic's a little slow due to a crash on South High Street, northbound at London Grove Court. Plan for delays from Row Road. Also, you will find your State Route 315 southbound ramp to the eastbound downtown split is closed as some work continues in the area. I'm keeping an eye on the building traffic volumes this morning. Looks like on the north side, traffic, Hard Road at Smoky Road is still pretty light. I'm Heather Pasco for 97.1, The Fan Traffic.
Fan Traffic sponsored by Pella Windows and Doors. Voted by Columbus homeowners as the leading and most trusted window brand. Find out why at PellaColumbus.com or at their brand new Polaris showroom.
Men, you already know that as we age, low testosterone can cause many issues, including decreased energy, bad sleep, a lower sex drive, and more. And if you're like most men, getting treated for low T can truly change your life. But it's also important where you get treated because your health matters, and a quality medical practice that has true expertise in men's sexual health can help you get the best outcome. This is Jeff for Tri-State Men's Health, the leader in treating low T and other men's sexual health issues in the area. And if you're feeling like I just described and haven't yet sought treatment, or if you're not satisfied with the treatment you're currently receiving, I'd invite you to call us. At Tri-State Men's Health, our expertise is men's sexual health. It's all we do. We've successfully treated thousands of men for low T, and we offer a true 5-star experience that is like no other. If you're like most men, you'll be astounded at our service and at the results of our treatments. So make an appointment today. Your initial visit is only $99 and includes blood work and a medical consult. And if you start on testosterone the day of your appointment, your visit is free. Call 800-900-9654 or go to tristatemenshealth.com.
Does our waiter look familiar?
I think he was the Plum Insurance mascot.
If all insurance companies were like NJM and didn't use gimmicks, then their mascots would have to get real jobs.
That explains the long purple hair in my soup.
No jingles or mascots, just great insurance. NJM.
That's the sound of sweat falling drip by miserable drip. But don't sweat that broken AC. The Waterworks Heating and Cooling Team has same-day service. Call the Waterworks at 614-333-9720 or schedule service on our website. Critics and audiences can't get enough of Deadpool and Wolverine.
Next level.
It's the most fun you'll have watching a movie this summer.
The hierarchy of power in the Marvel Universe is about to change forever.
You really are God's perfect idiot, aren't you?
It's Marvel's biggest triumph.
Damn straight it is.
It's a maniacal, meaningful masterpiece. Let's go.
Yes! This is what I'm talking about.
Deadpool and Wolverine, now playing. Rated R. Under 17, not admitted without parent.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at getethos.com. That's getethos.com.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
Good morning, I'm Bart the Shark. Just a day and a half after being arrested on domestic violence charges, Browns rookie defensive tackle Mike Hall was at practice yesterday, which was a joint practice with the Vikings. Coach Kevin Stefanski said the team will let the legal process play out. In baseball, on his 29th birthday, T.J. Friedl homered twice as the Reds whipped the Cardinals 9-2 to complete a 3-game sweep. Jonathan India also hit 2 homers and finished with 4 RBIs. In Cleveland, the Cubs scored the first one of the game 3 straight nights, but the Guardians still swept the series. Last night, Andres Jimenez had 2 singles, a double, and 3 RBIs as the Guards beat Chicago 6-1 to extend their winning streak to 5 games. And the Twins lost to Kansas City, so Minnesota falls 4.5 games behind the Guardians. This Sports Center is sponsored by The Waterworks. Trust the pros at The Waterworks for all your plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling needs. Visit thewaterworks.com to get started. Breaking sports news on The Fan.
If this show made a scented candle, it would smell like bad coffee, unwashed jockstrap, and grass clippings.
I wasn't sure how you take your coffee.
You're listening to Morning Juice.
So, mouth or enema?
Hour number 2 of the program for us on a Thursday. Brandon Beam, Austin Ward, Mark the Shark. Coming up here 1 hour away from right now. Albert Breer of the MMQB, maybe. He's going to join the program. Come up, talk some NFL. He's been busy. He's been very busy. We're in the
globetrotting.
We're just in the throngs of the NFL preseason. All kinds of trades going on to tell you about. So Albert Breer, if he has some time, we're not going to bother him this morning, but if he has some time, he's going to gracefully join us here, coming up here at 8:05, 1 hour away from right now. Surprise guest at 8:20, Bob Carpenter. He's going to join the program.
What?
Either the kids are going to be on the way to school. I've already gone to school. He just texted Shark. He goes, me and Shark, he said, I'll come on at 8:20. I said, it's your show. You can come on whenever you want.
The man doesn't know how to take a day off.
No days off. No days off. He's going to join us coming up here at 8:20. Then after him, the big fella, Jim Lachey from the Ohio State Sports Network.
That 8 o'clock hour.
Whoa, that's
Do you
robust.
even need me?
That is robust. Yes, we do.
Oh, okay.
So that's what's going to happen. Albert, 8:05. Bob, 8:20. Jim Lachey coming up here at 8:35. So all kinds of good things coming up for us here in the 8 o'clock hour.
Keeping you informed about what's trending this morning. It's time for a little re-rack on Morning Juice.
Sponsored by Billiards Plus, your destination for top-of-the-line grills with up to 30-year warranties. Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
All right, Guards, 5-gamer. They're back.
Guards back?
They're back, Shark. 6-1. How we feeling about that? I put on the prep sheet again, guards and cards. I have a problem with doing that. I did that yesterday. It was the Cubs, not the Cards.
The Reds played the Cards. The Guards played the Cubs. Guards have won 5 in a row. They have the toughest schedule remaining in Major League Baseball for the final 41 games.
You want to test yourself?
Yeah, they played 3 first-place teams, 3 other first-place teams, Milwaukee and Houston and the Dodgers. So it's not over, Beam. I know you think it's over, but it's not over.
I didn't say it's over.
You said they're back.
I said they're back. I didn't say it's over.
It's done. It's a wrap. I'd give them the whole trophy right now. Pennant, trophy, it's over.
1948, Boston, 1948.
You know, Rob Manfred just said that trophy's just a piece of metal.
Yeah, that's right.
Remember that?
Yeah.
It's just a piece of metal. I don't know why everybody gets really excited about it.
That's what you want to hear from your commissioner.
So the Guards, nice little 5-game win streak for them, taking down the Cubbies last night, 6-1. Big off day for them today. So that's nice. They're going to get their bullpen some rest. Sharky, you mentioned it. They're at the Brewers coming up here on Friday. Reds 9, Cards 2. You got the Royals on Friday at home for a set down at Great American Ballpark. And the Reds continue to be 4.5 games out of the wild card.
Well, they did the best they could do.
They literally did the best they could do because they didn't lose a game.
All you can do is control what you can control.
I believe a famous person once said, control the controllables.
That's right.
Is that correct?
I believe that is correct.
All right. So in Cleveland yesterday, big news because Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah agreed to a 3-year contract extension. Initial reports agree that the deal indicate that the deal is worth up to $39 million. That is $25 million guaranteed. And listen, that's a guy who has been great. Has been really, really terrific for the Cleveland Browns. So rewarding one of their own there. He was JOK yesterday, just talking about how he was more than happy to get this deal done.
Been a while negotiating, but man, it feels good. Feels like I'm loved, right? Feels like that, I have an opportunity to respond to a lot of the different things that's going on in my life and a lot of the different things that have been going on. And it feels good to be locked into a place and have the place also respect you and give you honor as well.
It's a great answer from him. Feels good to be loved. It's been going on for a while. He didn't let it distract him during training camp or this offseason. Got a deal done, $39 million, $25 guaranteed. It's good on both sides. Good job. Good business.
Now we know what JOK's love language is.
Yeah.
Money.
Show me the money.
And I understand it.
Who doesn't?
That's a pretty good motivator.
Absolutely.
He's got that done. Now you got to go out there and make sure that you earn that paycheck.
All right. So we talked about this a little bit in the 6 o'clock hour. Big day today for the Buckeyes, we think. Coming up a little.
It's a big day no matter what. Ryan Day, Chip Kelly, and Jim Knowles are talking.
I didn't know all three of them were talking.
It's a three-coach Thursday.
We're just going to be listening to sound all day tomorrow.
You better believe
That's a long tease. Yeah. All day long tomorrow on The Juice. You're going to hear from all three of those guys. And perhaps what is going to be a naming of a starting quarterback today, Austin?
I believe that will happen. And we are now 4 hours and 25 minutes away from Ryan Day walking to the podium. I don't know. Maybe it'll be a physical practice, and we'll have to wait in there a little bit past 11:30. It's scheduled for 11:30. It's Buckeye time. That could easily get pushed back till around noon. But he'll walk in there. I'll be on the front left side of the room, just sitting there waiting and anticipating whether Ryan Day just goes straight to a comment to name a starting quarterback or whether we are forced to ask him a question to prompt it.
Yeah, and so we'll see what happens today. But expectations that Will Howard will be named the starting quarterback. I've gotten a couple of tweets about this, Austin. People saying, I keep hearing Devin Brown is pushing Will Howard, maybe looking better as a passer. What to you? Why now? Why now would Ohio State and Ryan Day name Will Howard the starting quarterback?
I think because of that, those words, these are Ryan Day's words, command and control. And I think the veteran presence, the physicality, what Will Howard brings is different, I think, than the rest when you are 6'4" and pushing 250 pounds and still running nearly 23 miles an hour. Like, those things are all really impressive. And now as he's settled into the locker room, settled into the playbook, that I think has elevated and pushed it. And you and I have talked about this. We talked about it in the 6 o'clock hour. It is not a negative for Devin Brown. He's not done anything wrong, and he has definitely made himself a better quarterback, a better passer. He's always been a good teammate, and he's always been confident in his own abilities. The thing that flashes always with Devin Brown is the ability to stretch the field, and the deep balls, that is probably the spot where you put a pro check mark in his column, maybe ahead of Will Howard. In terms of the rest, though, you still see, if you're going to nitpick it to the level that you have to if you're naming a starting quarterback at Ohio State, Devin Brown is not as consistent with the intermediate to short throws as he is down the field. And when you're in a tight battle, and I think you do give full marks to Devin Brown for making this more competitive than maybe many around the country assumed it was going to be when Will Howard arrived. He is better. He is physical. He is strong as well. He can do some of the things in the running game that help Ohio State. But when you add up all the rest of the things in the pro-con column, Will Howard, I think, has been clearly ahead based on what we've seen. And it's a mark of strength for the quarterback room as a whole that Devin Brown is an improved quarterback and made this something that carried into August and that it wasn't just handed to Will Howard when he got here.
Our boss wanted me to let you know, too, as he distracts me during the show. At 11:30 a.m., we will carry that press conference, as we do most press conferences here on The Fan. So at 11:30 a.m., you can tune into that. Ryan Day presser, expecting.
I wouldn't count on it to start at exactly at 11:30.
I am. I'm telling you right now, 11:30 a.m., because that's what it says in the text. Okay. We will carry the press conference live at 11:30 a.m. That doesn't make me a liar. That makes Fish a liar.
I don't.
That's his words.
I don't care who's lying. I'm just saying, don't expect it at exactly 11:30 because This is the middle of training camp. It's Buckeye time.
What does that mean? We're on Buckeye time?
Because the last
time...
time...
Is that 8 minutes late, 10 minutes late, 15, 20?
Well, last Thursday we were in there. We're expecting this to be a pretty quick practice, lighter. You have a scrimmage coming on Saturday. They went for 3 hours.
Nice.
So that they start at 9. That means they went to noon. Okay, so if that happens again today, which I would assume in the middle of training camp when you're still trying to get, hits on the body, physicality, putting the pads on, I doubt they're going to stop after 2 hours. That would be my guess.
All formal complaints can be...
I'm just putting the caveat
to
out
fish.
there.
Don't do it to me. Again,
I don't want the listeners to think it's absolutely going to happen at 11:30.
Actually, at 11:30, what we're going to do, if he is not live, we're just going to play an old press conference. We're just going to play an old Ryan Day press conference.
Okay, well, my hands will be clean of that. I'm not taking any responsibility. I just want to be fair to everyone out there and set reasonable expectations. It is scheduled for 11:30, and it may not happen at 11:30.
All right,
well,
so
Austin's going to be sitting in that.
I'm going to be in there in like
room.
2 hours.
Yeah, so he's going to be in that little theater there, and maybe he can go live, Austin, and kill 15 minutes until Ryan walks in.
Fine. I will walk to the microphone and answer any questions from my colleagues in the media who will say, "Sit down, Ward.
Please.
We don't need to hear from you.
We don't need to hear about your golf game.
We're tired of this."
So Timmy and I used to do the Ohio State men's basketball postgame show. And on that, and I know that Bo does it every week too with the Ryan Day presser, or, Rothman does it sometimes, depending on the time. Like today, we don't know what time. And so when they say 11:30 presser, you have to tap dance, right? Because you don't know when that presser is going to happen. So Timmy and I, we used to do the, again, post-game show for basketball. Tim still does it for the network. I can't because the games are late, and I'd be up until like midnight, 1 o'clock, and then have to turn around at 4 o'clock. I would love to keep doing them. I just know that it would be bad for my sleep patterns.
Right.
So again, we used to do that, and it would always be the same thing. Like, you hear Paul and Jim are so good on the broadcast about it. Like, here we go to Ryan Day. Like, then it's good. They got the audio. They pump the audio up. And I just remember one time, Tim, like, we were waiting on Holtman to have his press conference. And I hear Colin, who is now the producer for Rothman and Ice, Evil Bald Colin, CB, in our ear saying Holtman's live. So, I mean, we're tap dancing for 5 minutes. We would come out, we would do a segment, and then that second segment, we would do the press conference. And Colin is in our ear. Holtman's live. Okay, so usually that's the indication, like, okay, now we go to the podium for Chris Holtman. Boom, he pots it up. Tim just runs through the stop sign and just keeps talking. And I'm like waving my hands like, I don't want to say it on the air. Like, Tim, we got to go. He had to go for 3.5 minutes, just covered up Holtman's press conference. I'm like, was your point about Caleb Wesson fouling someone and fouling out of this gate, was that so important that we had to blow off the head coach? I always, from that point on, have been so nervous to then just tap dance because I'm like, well, Tim's just going to run through the stop sign. So when you hear Tim doing a basketball postgame show, just know that now what is Jake Diebler doing the presser, that you're probably going to be 90 seconds late into it. That you're not going to hear the entire thing.
Why didn't you just cut his mic off?
I don't know. It didn't do it. I was just so used to being berated by his voice, and I'm like, I guess we're just going to listen to you talk right now.
Well, he is an expert.
He's something.
Yeah.
He's something. I saw he had a great time at the Blink-182 concert the other day. That guy, what a life he's living. What a life.
Must be nice.
Must be nice is right. Gets back from Vancouver, goes to a Blink-182 concert. Saw him tweeting out that he was drinking some scotch last night. Who are you?
He's a fancy lad.
I know that they're eating at the fan cafeteria or the fan deli, whatever they call it, every day, eating chili dogs that have probably been in there for 6 years.
He probably needed a couple of weeks to recover from that.
I think everybody would need a couple of weeks to recover.
Although he
from
said
that.
he just spit it right out. I think Tyvus was the only one who actually ate it.
He was sick the next couple of days, Tim was.
Well, putting it in your mouth, the damage is already done.
That's going to be a cut for forever. You know that. What you just said. That's going to be played out of context 1,000 times. It's back and better than ever. We're going to duel next. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan Traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
The morning drive is starting to slow a bit in spots out there as traffic volumes build. I'm seeing slowdowns on the south side, 71 northbound between Greenlawn Avenue and 70. There is also a crash on South High Street northbound at London Groveport Road. That's causing stop-and-go delays from Row Road this morning. Now taking a look at the east side, traffic 270 at Broad is building but moving pretty well. I'm Heather Pasco for 97.1, The Fan Traffic.
Ohio, ready for some quick mental health facts? Let's go. Nearly 2 million Ohioans live with a mental health condition. In the U.S., more than 50% of people will be diagnosed with a mental illness in their lifetime. Depression is a leading cause of disability worldwide. So why are some of us still stigmatizing people living with a mental health condition when we know all of this? Let's listen to the facts and beat the stigma. Ohio, challenge what you know about mental health at beatthestigma.org.
Driving plays a big part in driving the local economy. It helps us all get where we're going and creates good jobs close to home. At Synovus Energy, our refineries in Toledo and Lima are a reliable domestic source of gasoline, diesel, and jet fuel. Plus, more than 2,300 employees and contractors work for us here in Ohio. See how we're helping local communities move forward at Synovus.com.
Hey, welcome to IKEA's complete sleep event. Don't miss dreamy offers on sleep essentials.
I've tried counting sheep, but keep losing track.
We've got you. IKEA family members save 15% off your purchase of $300 or more on select sleep comfort items. Plus, we're throwing a pajama party in-store on August 31st. Wear your favorite PJs for a free breakfast.
Ooh, we have matching PJs.
Don't wait. Go to IKEA-USA.com/bettersleep or visit your local store today. Offer valid August 7th through September 10th. U.S. only. See store and IKEA-USA.com for full details and eligible items. Restrictions apply.
Welcome to Nada Yada Island.
This season on Nada Yada Island.
You were charging your phone? I waited hours for you.
Oh, that's how long it takes.
Join Metro and get a free Motorola Edge that'll charge for the day in 15 minutes. At Metro, there's no activation fees. Only at Metro by T-Mobile.
Bring your number ID and sign up for Metro Flex Plus plan. Offer not available if at T-Mobile or have been with Metro in the past 180 days. Requires 68-watt charger sold separately. Actual performance will vary.
Attention weekend warriors. Fan Sports Saturday has moved to 10 a.m. Join Eric Reeser and Tyvis Powell as they dive into popular topics like the Buckeyes and Tyvis's liquid diet.
Saturdays from 10 to 1.
The Fan.
Pain from arthritis is just awful. Constant pain. It robs you of so much of the stuff you love to do. But there are effective ways to deal with that pain. My dad and I can both tell you we were able to get relief without medication or surgery. Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. Listen, there are exciting new cellular therapies that can get you lasting relief. The place to go, QC Kinetics, right here in Columbus, Ohio. Dr. Ray Tesner and his team at QC Kinetics utilize cutting-edge treatments that accelerate your own body's healing properties, revitalizing your joints so you can move again. Learn how QC Kinetics can use advanced regenerative medicine to treat the pain, enhance your joints, and restore your mobility. Surgery and pain pills, they're not the only option. My dad and I went there. We feel so much better. He's able to move around and walk like he wants to. I'm able to go out and run and do the things that I enjoy. So here's the great thing. Give them a call at 380-208-4544. Go to qckinetics.com/Columbus. They have 3 offices in Dublin, Gahanna, and Grove City.
If a friend asks how you're doing, and you say,
I'm okay.
When the truth is,
I don't want my problems to burden anyone.
Or you say,
hang it in there.
Because
if I ask for help, they'll just think I'm weak.
Then this is your sign to call, text, or chat 988 for free, confidential support. Anytime. You don't have to hide how you feel.
Did you and your family lose Ohio Medicaid and need health coverage? Check this out. You may be eligible to enroll in a low-cost health plan at healthcare.gov. With the new law, 4 out of 5 customers can find a plan for $10 or less per month with financial help. Healthcare.gov offers quality plans that cover doctor visits, prescriptions, emergency care, and more. Healthcare.gov is here for you. Enroll today for coverage starting the 1st of next month. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Fan and weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Increasing clouds today with a high around 87. As we go through tonight, we are looking at a cloudy sky with a low 66. Tomorrow, scattered showers, high 87. And then on Saturday, isolated showers with a high of 84. I'm meteorologist Dylan Robichaud with your 10 TV weather impact forecast on 97.1 The Fan.
FanDuel is the exclusive online sportsbook partner of Morning Juice. Just sign up at FanDuel.com/juice. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Bobby played football for Bill Parcells and Bill Belichick. Beamer played football for a drunk named Joe who worked at the gas station. You're listening to Morning Juice.
Here's Law here, a little Thursday edition of the program. Brandon Beam, Harp out. He will join us 1 hour from now, though. 8:20, coming up here a little bit later this morning. He's off, seeing the kids off to school on their second day. He's going to join the program, like I said, coming up here in 1 hour time.
I bet I see him in the Woody after that.
I bet you do see him. Whether or not he has a shirt on, that's still to be determined.
I hope not.
Who doesn't? Who doesn't? He was shirtless running those gassers. He's looking great when he was doing it. Was timing him. I was a little bit nervous to time him, but I got it done.
I think he's got 3 good plays to give still.
I think at least.
Yeah.
I think at least.
Well, at most.
You think at most?
That's from him. He's told me that a number of times. He's got one drive in him.
He would get a
got to be a 3 and out.
We'll ask him about it coming up in an hour. He would get a taste of it again, and he would just, I feel like, snap back into football Bob.
Ooh, all right.
I think he would snap back into like meatball Bob for sure.
Okay.
I think he could at least give you a drive. All right, let's do this.
Morning Juice presents Duel at Dawn.
Sponsored by FanDuel, the exclusive online sportsbook partner of Morning Juice. Just sign up at FanDuel.com/juice.
All right, Sharky.
Yes.
Now, let's explain to the people who are new to the show or have forgotten how this works. What will happen when we play Duel at Dawn? Shark, in his infinite wisdom, has created 7 questions plus a tiebreaker for us. The winner of the most questions wins Duel at Dawn. The prize is grandiose. We still don't know what they are, but there will be a prize attached.
Okay. Great.
Do you have the update from the last Duel at Dawn for us?
It's been 3.5 months. The last Duel at Dawn we did was going into the Kentucky Derby. We had a draft, 3 horses each. Neither one of you picked the winner. You know who the winner of the Derby was?
Big Brown.
Mystic Dan. But Beam did pick Sierra Leone, who finished second in the Derby, so he got a point for that. The Twins have won 10 straight. How long will the winning streak go? Bobby got that right. It was exactly 12. But, yeah, it's been a long time since we played. Beamer won 5-3 the last time out, so he has 34 career victories. Bobby, 18. Tito, 8. Tim May, 1. We had a push. And Austin lost in his lone appearance.
Oh, come on.
A 34-game lead on you, pal.
I think I know where you guys are going to go with this, but I got to throw it out there anyway. Ryan Day speaks to the media today. Will he announce his starting quarterback?
Yes.
You can listen to that on the Fan around 11:30. Yes.
Approximately.
Is the tiebreaker if you answer it first? I was just trying to sneak it in there.
No.
Oh, shoot.
Yes, you will.
All right, great. Give me a point.
I said yes.
Oh, okay.
Vehemently, yes.
All 32 NFL teams are playing this weekend. How many of those 32 teams will be shut out?
I'll go one single team. One team will be shut out, and I feel like it's either going to be 0 or 1.
I'll take 2.
Okay.
Give me 2.
I'll take the under then.
All right, then. How many of those teams will score at least 30 points?
Oh,
Don't you love predicting preseason games?
Preseason football, it's my favorite time of the year. How many teams will score 30 points? I don't know, Shark. 13?
Whoa.
Yeah, it'll be a high flying week.
Okay.
Why not?
1.
All you had to do was take the under.
Yeah, I'm taking the under. I mean, you see teams just like trying to get through these. I don't know why the whole charade of the preseason exists. You see these ugly like 13-10 games, you know, and running the ball in the second half, and guys with no chance of really making the roster playing the string out in the third and fourth quarter.
I up mine to 14 now. I think it's going to be even more high scoring.
I love it.
In Thursday night preseason football, we'll all be tuned in to watch the Patriots host the Eagles tonight. Which New England quarterback will throw for the most yards? Now, they've got 4 quarterbacks on the roster: Jacoby Brissett, Drake May, Bailey Zappi, Joe Milton. If you guys, either one of you gets this right, it'll be a miracle. Bailey Zappi, by the way, threw for the most yards in the preseason opener for the Pats.
I was going to take Bailey Zappi anyway, Shark, because I feel like he's going to wind up playing the most in this game. It sounds like some of the feedback from camp is that Drake May is struggling a little bit, so maybe they would try and up his reps and snaps to get him rolling a little bit. But Bailey Zappi at least has been out there, has experience. He can chuck it all over the yard. So I'll take the Zap man.
A little Zappy hour for you. I'll say Drake May. I have no indications other than just Austin going with my guy and Bailey Zappi, so I'll say Drake May.
Oh, yeah. I just got to keep going first and I'll win.
Yeah.
Victor Hovland is your reigning FedEx Cup champion. The playoffs start today with the St. Jude Championship in Memphis. The top 70 golfers in the FedEx Cup standings are there come Sunday at about 6 o'clock. In what place will Hovland finish?
Tied
1 through 70.
Tied for 16th, Victor Hovland.
52nd.
Oh,
whoa. This man's broken.
He is. He's struggling.
The worst thing you can do as a golfer, I feel like, is to come out and publicly say that you're broken, that you're struggling and you can't figure it out. You can't be afraid to be great. You say, I have been, but I'm figuring some things out on the range and I'm learning how to putt again and I'm going to be back. And Victor Hovland is not taking that approach, and I don't like it.
Yeah, but you know what? He's good enough that even if he is broken, he's still good enough to finish top 20.
Okay.
If he finishes 39th, then you guys tie.
He'll be lower than 39.
All right.
There's no doubt.
The Reds go into their weekend series against Kansas City, tied for second place with St. Louis. Both are 8.5 games behind first place Milwaukee and a game and a half ahead of the fourth place Cubs. When we reconvene here Monday morning, where will Cincinnati sit in the National League Central standings?
Third.
Such a great answer.
I had to go first.
Second.
We know it's not going to be first.
Yeah. I don't want to have the same answer as Bean. That's no fun.
All right.
Let's go Reds.
How many times will Ellie De La Cruz strike out in the 3-game series against the Royals?
What did you say? He's averaging 1.36.
1.36. And he got, you know what? He had 4 strikeouts in the 3-game series against the Cards.
So he was under. He was under his average.
3.
I'll say 5. I'll say 5 for Ellie.
I think he's going to get hot.
Yeah.
I mean, it's either 4 strikeouts or 4 doubles and a home run or something.
Or both.
Yeah, it could be both. Yeah. I think let's say 3.
All right. And here is your tiebreaker. What will Scotty Scheffler's score be at the conclusion of the St. Jude Championship? I'm not looking for 278. I'm looking for a minus or plus.
15 under.
I'll say 13 under. Tiebreaker will then be 14. We'll push if it's 14.
Won't need it.
So it's been 3.5 months. It won't be 3.5 months until we do the next one. Because then football will be...
It might be that long until I get to do it again.
I can't wait to hear next Thursday who threw for the most yards in the Patriots preseason game tonight. I mean, I'm not going to look at that box score. I won't be watching.
You'll be tuned in tonight.
No, I won't.
You'll be going, come on, Drake.
No, I won't.
Put him in.
Yeah, exactly. So one of the YouTube sets said if someone bets preseason games, there is a hotline number that they should call. Yes. You are correct.
Can I get that number?
It's been a busy offseason for Ohio State. We're going to catch you up with everything that happened in a power-packed offseason with the Buckeyes next. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
An accident on South High Street, northbound at London Groveport, is keeping things slow this morning. Also, on the south side, you're slow on 71 northbound between Greenlawn Avenue and 70. There's construction as well on 161, both directions between 270 Northeast and Johnstown Road. Watch for lane closures and on and off delays there, especially as traffic volumes continue to build. I'm Heather Pasco for 97.1, The Fan Traffic.
Tired of waiting for your auto service to be completed at the dealership? Hi, this is Justin Hinderer with the Hinderer Motor Company. Let our experienced factory-trained technicians come to you in our mobile service truck. 90% of all repairs can be done at your home or office. Brakes, recalls, maintenance, it can all be done on your terms when you need us with our mobile service truck. Go to HindererMotorCompany.com and schedule mobile service today. That's HindererMotorCompany.com. We love what moves you.
There's never a good time for your furnace or air conditioner to stop working, but we're honored that for the past 100 years, Atlas Butler customers have relied on us the night before Thanksgiving, the day before their wedding, and even Christmas morning for fast, convenient service. Your trust means everything. Call today, get it fixed today. That's our pledge to you.
Meet animals from around the world as you explore the Columbus Zoo and Aquarium. Whether you're fascinated by the towering elephant or playful sea lions, we have it all at the Columbus Zoo and Aquarium. Visit columbuszoo.org to plan your visit today.
Jump on board now with the 20-pound summer slim down with Awaken 180 weight loss. Drop 20 pounds before summer ends and cruise into fall with a new routine of better health. Do what I did and find your results with the solution for weight loss at awaken180weightloss.com.
Ohio, ready for some quick mental health facts? Let's go. Nearly 2 million Ohioans live with a mental health condition. In the U.S., more than 50% of people will be diagnosed with a mental illness in their lifetime. Depression is a leading cause of disability worldwide. So why are some of us still stigmatizing people living with a mental health condition when we know all of this? Let's listen to the facts and beat the stigma. Ohio, challenge what you know about mental health at beatthestigma.org.
The Fan Tailgate is back at the Ozone on Lane.
Sponsored by your Central Ohio Ford dealers, Hollywood Casino, and TNT Equipment.
Admission is free. Join us for food, fun, and tipsy radio hosts. The Fan, Ohio's tailgating destination.
Hey, it's Steve. Sorry couldn't get to the phone. Leave a message at the beep.
Hey, it's Jason from Chase. Congrats on closing day. Hope your daughter enjoys the new pool.
Start your house buying journey today with the Chase My Home digital dashboard. From applications to managing your mortgage, we're with you all the way home. Chase, make more of what's yours. Visit chase.com/home. Restrictions and limitations apply to the access of Chase My Home. Home lending products subject to credit and property approval. Rates and program terms subject to change. Other restrictions apply. Member FDIC. Equal housing opportunity.
Hey folks, Bobby Carpenter here. If you're ready to tackle any adventure, check out these unbeatable offers from Germain Toyota. Get behind the wheel of a rugged Toyota Tundra with 0% financing for 60 months. Yeah, that's right, 0%. Or if you're looking for something a bit more compact but just as awesome, lease the all-new 2024 Toyota Tacoma for just $329 a month for 36 months. These deals are rolling out so fast, so don't wait. Visit Germain Toyota on the corner of I-70 and Bryce Road or online at germaintoyota.net.
You've got to watch your NFL team every Sunday, and Verizon's got you covered for all your team's out-of-market games every Sunday afternoon. Come on! From kickoff to sign-off, from first downs and touchdowns
Right.
to turnovers, and overturned plays.
After review, the pass was incomplete.
Nice! Let's go! This season, win every Sunday with Verizon. Get a great deal on NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV and a new phone. Excludes digital-only games. Terms and embargoes apply.
As a roofer, I'm always on the go, so I need to be able to get things done from anywhere. That's why I partner with Beacon. With the Beacon Pro Plus app, I've got the brands I depend on, like Certainty Landmark Pro, right at my fingertips. It's like having my Beacon rep in my pocket 24/7. I rely on Beacon because I never stop building, and neither do they. Now through November, purchase Certainty through Beacon Pro Plus and earn up to $750. Beacon, always building.
Morning Juice is sponsored by Affinity Whole Health, the leader in testosterone and hormone replacement therapy. FeelGreatColumbus.com. The Fan.
Beamer is tweeting about Formula One. Oh, hells yes. Bobby is tweeting Rick Springfield concert video. Both are a cry for help. This is one twisted mother. This is Morning Juice.
Well, the script says football is approaching. Heck, football is here, and it is time to get in on the action early this season. Tons of different player props, passing yards. I might bet on how many passing yards Bailey Zappi will have this season. Will the Bengals make the playoffs? Will the Browns will both make the playoffs? You can parlay that, because right now new customers can get $150 in bonus bets if your first $5 bet wins, Beamsy.
Yep. Thanks for turning my mic on, Shark. I was talking there when you were saying Bailey Zappi, and I said, you're sick. You're sick. My mic wasn't on to say it. There's no better place to get in ready for the football season than on FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook, an official betting partner of the NFL. Just visit FanDuel.com/juice to sign up today. You must be 21 and older, present in Ohio. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. All right, let's go over this offseason for Ohio State because it has been a busy one. And I feel like there have been a lot of things that people may have forgotten that has happened. I'm in a group chat with some of my friends who I would say that they're pretty big college football fans. Now, a lot of them are busy with work and kids, and got a text the other day that said, I didn't realize Washington's coach is now the coach at Alabama. I was like, all right, well, we have a lot to catch up on then. Yes, Nick Saban is retired.
If they missed that one, I can't imagine that they were paying close attention to Parker Fleming being relieved of his duties.
It's true. So Nick Saban is retired.
Okay, well, we're starting with that.
That happened for the Buckeyes.
What did happen for the Buckeyes? Because guess what that produced? Three new transfers.
It did produce 3 new transfers, and let's get to them kind of in the order that they happened. So immediately after, was it Michigan won the national championship game?
Yes, they did win the national championship.
No. I'm saying
it was immediately after.
Immediately
after. It was the Monday after.
Yes. Immediately after Michigan had won the national championship game, Quinshon Judkins put out a tweet. So I'm coming to Ohio State.
Well, that happened at the same time.
That's what I mean.
I thought we were parlaying the Alabama stuff with Seth McLaughlin, but you're right. If we're going to go in chronological order.
And I'm not going to go in chronological order, but that was the first thing that popped to mind because that was really the first part of this offseason, Austin. I feel like you got through the Cotton Bowl. It was kind of some time period of some Buckeyes saying we're back, we're returning. So Ohio State returns basically everybody who had eligibility left and or were going to the NFL. Basically, every starter from last year is back, albeit the guys who did run out of eligibility, they are now gone. Tommy Eichenberg, Steel Chambers gone. We can talk about the linebackers here in a second. So Quinshon Judkins, running back from Ole Miss, he decides that, you know what, I'm going to transfer. He comes here to Ohio State. Adds Travion Henderson. They're going to be the bell cows in the backfield. It'll be interesting how they kind of share the load this year. Move on from that, more transfers to come in. You just mentioned the 3-pack of guys that came in from Alabama. You had Caleb Downs, safety. He is terrific. He is unbelievable. Was a all SEC player as a true freshman down at Alabama. You have Seth McLaughlin, who is the center, expected to be the center here at Ohio State. And you also had Julian Sand. As soon as Nick Saban retired, you saw this flux of Alabama players go in the portal, and then the Buckeyes were able to get 3 of them. You also got Will Kazmarek, who is was a tight end for Ohio University. He comes over here to Ohio State. And then you get the big one, which we're expecting a little over 4 hours away from right now. You can listen to it on the Fan. Ryan Day's press conference. Will Howard comes from Kansas State. Won a Big 12 championship just a few years ago. Really, really solid player. 6'5", 230, 6'5", 240. Big fella. Really big fella at the helms for Ohio State. That was just on the player side of things. So 6 additions in the transfer portal for this Ohio State Buckeye team. And most of them are going to be impact players, if not all of them looking down the future road a la Julian Sand.
Yeah, Julian Sand is not going to, or should not, unless something goes very haywire, have an impact on this year, but he is a gifted passer. I think if you were lining up all 5 of the guys in that room right now and just had them do an Elite 11 style skills competition, throwing the football, Julian Sand may win that. So the excitement for what he could become down the road is there. He's got big time potential, but the other guys have to play a key role. Ohio State losing Cade Stover, they went out there and you think, well, it's a guy from the MAC level. He doesn't have a ton of individual stats. Is that the best that Ohio State could do? When Keenan Bailey and Mark Pantoni and that whole staff put on the film, they loved what they saw from Will Kazmarek, and they saw someone who could do the dirty work. He's got that. He's a big dude as well, 6'5", 250, 260. He can catch a little bit. He's not going to be as much of a ball in his hand threat as maybe Cade Stover was, but the trade-off for that, I think, could be maybe some more reliable blocking. We'll see how that transpires. They needed somebody to do that alongside G. Scott, so those 2 guys are at the top of the room, so Will Kazmarek has a chance to make an impact. Caleb Downs is going to be the best safety in America. I don't really have any issue saying that. There's not a shred of doubt in my mind, really. This guy is special. You know what's going to happen at quarterback. We've talked about that plenty. Quinshon Judkins, you do what he did for 2 years in the SEC. The volume of carries and the level of competition he did it against, there's no doubt about the upside that he brings to Ohio State. That decision he made, he had reached out to Davison Igbinosun, and also Tywan Malone was at Ole Miss previously. There was some built-in ties there. He's like, hey, what's it like up in Columbus? It's great. You should probably jump on board.
It's awesome.
No problem. And he's here, and Travion Henderson, a 1-2 punch. You're not going to find a better one in any backfield in the country, in my opinion. So, there's this perception, if you only followed the national coverage of Ohio State, you'd be like, well, how can that only be 6 transfers coming in? I thought they bought an all-star team. They must have taken 25 dudes from the portal. It's not what they did. They needed a few select spots to supplement the roster. Seth McLaughlin, I left out of that conversation, but you mentioned him as well from Alabama, probably going to start at center. All these guys they found, it's like they had a position that they felt was a need, and they went out and got it. They didn't just go willy-nilly and hog wild. Anyone who's in the portal, come on in. That's not the approach. Ohio State is still going to take a developed here mentality because they recruit at such a high level. But the part that I think people are missing when the national media are saying that they paid an NIL and all these other things is that they retained a ton of NFL players, which was at the same time that you're talking about being like, if we're beginning in January, not just the portal, but you had this string of decisions. Tyleik Williams, Jack Sawyer, JT Tuimoloau, Lathan Ransom, Cody Simon. That started even in December. Cody Simon's just like, didn't even put out a statement. It's just like, by the way, I'm back. Okay, thanks. But all those were the biggest parts.
Offensive side, Travion Emeka, like those guys.
On down the line. So keeping them, retaining them, and then supplementing the roster, huge deal.
And I also think, too, it's going to be great, and we're all excited to see the new Buckeyes come in from the transfer portal. It was every bit, if not way more imperative, that you kept the core of this team together, right? There is an argument to be made that it's not even close. The impact that is coming from the transfer portal is going to be as impactful as all these guys returning to the Buckeyes.
It's such a deep group of leaders. It's rare that you have this. Now, the circumstances that produced it, you don't want. They have not beat Michigan. They don't have a set of gold pants. They have not been to Indianapolis. They've not won the Big Ten. They have, some of these guys have been to the college football playoff. They have not won a playoff game. They certainly have not won a national championship. So, yes, there was some element of NIL. There's certainly a part of this that is boosting NFL draft stock. They didn't all get first-round grades, or it might have been a tougher decision for them. Marvin Harrison Jr., I think if you asked him, if you gave him truth serum, and there was a way that he could have turned down the guaranteed money, he would have. I think he desperately wanted to accomplish those things with one more year at Ohio State. He was in a spot where he just really couldn't do it. The rest of these guys, there's a combination of money, but also being at Ohio State and not reaching any of their goals that is hard to duplicate, and you really wouldn't want to. And after this year, Ohio State probably wouldn't be able to. If they accomplish everything they want, you're going to see a lot of guys that maybe wouldn't make the same decision that this veteran core has for Ohio State. But the circumstances come along and they line up perfectly once in a while. I think that's why there's so much anticipation now in the middle of August for what this team can become.
You also look at the coaches as well, Austin. I know we're up against it, but let's go over those quickly. Carlos Lachlan coming in as running backs coach. That was a surprise because that was during spring ball. Tony Alford going to Michigan.
Yeah, the other two changes that were made on the staff were like Ohio State driven when they replaced Perry Eliano with Matt Guerreri as the safeties coach, and you moved on from Parker Fleming, and then you make a pretty big hire there. Corey Dennis doesn't come back. Chip Kelly's coming in to be the offensive coordinator and take the reins. Tony Alford leaving in the middle of March was not really what Ohio State had drawn up once they got past some of that early wave of transition in February. Carlos Lachlan comes over from Oregon, fueling that new Team Out West rivalry that the Ducks want to be called, I guess. Carlos Lachlan certainly motivated to strike back against his former team. That'll be a big storyline there in October. But, big changes there on the offensive staff, defensive staff, and then special teams, which will now be a more collaborative effort for Ohio State.
And now James isn't a GA. He's the actual linebackers coach as well. James Laurinaitis, who we're talking about.
Yeah, he took that Parker Fleming spot on the full-time staff. Again, the rules have changed. Like, they may have been able – James is already making an impact a year ago. He would have been able to grab a whistle and lead drills and do all those other things this year. But he's on the road as a recruiter, and you are seeing some big-time results from him this summer as well.
Absolutely they are. And don't forget, Bill O'Brien was the offensive coordinator here for about 4 days.
It was an unforgettable tenure.
It was. And he had to take that BC job, man, for his family. He had to do it. And then he ended up getting Chip Kelly. So I would say that that's a win.
It worked out better than you could have imagined if you're Ohio State.
It worked out. So hopefully that little crash course of what's going on with the Buckeyes, that's what's new. That's what happened in the offseason. I don't know if we covered it all in about 8 minutes, but we definitely tried to do it. We'll let you know what has us juice next. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Traffic is slow this morning on the west side, 70 eastbound between Sullivan Avenue and 315. On the south side, plan for delays, 71 northbound between Greenlawn Avenue and 70. Otherwise, you're moving pretty well. On the south side, 270 at Lockbourne Road, traffic is mostly moderate, and we do have dry roads so far this morning. I'm Heather Pasco for 97.1, The Fan Traffic.
When there's a United Dairy Farmers nearby, made from scratch ice cream is too. Stop by while 2-dip cones are buy one, get one free. All flavors, including peach and cookies and cream. UDF ice cream, made for you.
We're dealing at Reichert Nissan. Hundreds of Nissans in stock, on the ground, and priced to sell fast. Low lease payments on brand new Reichert Nissan Sentras, only $219 a month. Now we're really dealing. With our lowest prices and 72-hour exchange policy, you can't buy the wrong car. Visit the Reichert Mega Mall off 270 and 33 or shop thousands of new and certified used at ReichertNissan.com. We're dealing.
With approved credit. 2024 Sentra SV FWD 36-month lease with $3,000 due at signing. Offer ends 9/3/24.
Did you and your family lose Ohio Medicaid and need health coverage? Check this out. You may be eligible to enroll in a low-cost health plan at healthcare.gov. With the new law, 4 out of 5 customers can find a plan for $10 or less per month with financial help. Healthcare.gov offers quality plans that cover doctor visits, prescriptions, emergency care, and more. Healthcare.gov is here for you. Enroll today for coverage starting the 1st of next month. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
From the mind of a 2-foot-tall talking spokes puppet comes this year's biggest challenge. It's time for Bob's Dare to Compare, the hottest game show on TV that asks, what happens when you compare Bob's to the competition? You get style. You get quality. You get beeps and boops and dings and whomps. And thousands of dollars in savings. Everyone's a winner when you dare to compare with Bob's Discount Furniture. Now open in Reynoldsburg and coming soon to Polaris.
Hey, it's Bobby. When it comes to tackling a project as important as your roof, you want a company that cares about the product and experience they're going to deliver. At Newman Roofing, you're more than just a number. They believe in 100% customer satisfaction. And for your roofing needs, give them a call at 614-NEW-ROOF or newmanroofing.com.
Sunday is the time for brunching with your favorite people. And when they don't invite you, listen to us instead. Fan Sports Sunday with Tino and Devere Posey.
Sunday morning starting at 11.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
While the world whizzes by, enjoy a moment of me time with Tim Hortons $6 breakfast bundle. Savor a small hot or iced coffee. Then add your choice of a mouth-watering hot breakfast sandwich and a crispy golden hash brown and your pick of a classic donut. All for $6. All just for you. Make your mornings all about me time with our $6 breakfast bundle. Available at your neighborhood Tim Hortons. Price and participation vary. Terms apply.
Driving plays a big part in driving the local economy. It helps us all get where we're going and creates good jobs close to home. At Synovus Energy, our refineries in Toledo and Lima are a reliable domestic source of gasoline, diesel, and jet fuel. Plus, more than 2,300 employees and contractors work for us here in Ohio. See how we're helping local communities move forward at Synovus.com.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle, unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
We'll start off sunny, but the clouds do increase as we head throughout the morning hours. 87 today, and unfortunately, the humidity will be higher today as well. Tonight will be cloudy with a low of 66, and then isolated showers on Friday with a high of 87. I'm meteorologist Dylan Robichaud with your 10 TV weather impact forecast on 97.1 The Fan.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Right Way Heating and Cooling and Bryant, doing whatever it takes to keep you and your home comfortable. The Fan.
Just a couple of dudes being guys.
What's better than this? Guys being dudes.
You're listening to Morning Juice.
We are on The Juice, brought to you by our good friends over at Affinity Whole Health, the leader in testosterone and hormone replacement therapy. You can, of course, visit them on the line at feelgreatcolumbus.com.
What's got you juiced?
Sponsored by Newman Roofing. Call Newman Roofing today at 614-NEW-ROOF or visit online at newmanroofing.com.
Sharky?
Yes?
Hit us with some schlegs.
I can make really good peanut butter and jelly. I can make really good Eggo waffles. And I can make eggs and really good oatmeal, but I don't eat the peanut butter and jelly. And the Eggos, myself, it's more for my kids because I'm trying to look sexy. So I'll just eat eggs and some ground sausage. That's basically my dinner, unless I go to City Barbecue or Chipotle or Panda or Roosters. Like those are kind of my staples.
Yeah.
Other than those 5 places.
He kind of says Chipotle like Chipotle or whatever.
Yeah.
I never realized really how much power I have on this side of the glass until I forget to turn your mic on. And then I realize, you know what? I've got all the power over
You just
here.
do us all a favor and keep.
What is that?
Favor and keep my microphone on. Austin can stay. Just turn mine off.
All right.
That was wild. Look, he's just like, watch this. Snaps his fingers.
Yes.
Dead.
I want to tell you about Matthew Boyd. He has me juiced. Pitched 9 years in the major leagues, and then he blew out his elbow last June of 2023. Underwent Tommy John surgery. The Tigers didn't release him. They didn't re-sign him at the end of the season, so he became a free agent. Worked hard to get back. Didn't have a team until about 6 weeks ago. The Guardians signed him in hopes that he would return, and indeed he did. 414 days after he last took the mound, he pitched for the Guards on Tuesday night, 5 1/3 innings, 1 run, 3 hits, 6 strikeouts, no walks, and he was absolutely giddy walking off the mound to a standing ovation in Cleveland.
I got surgery 2 days after I pitched. It was like, faster we can get it done, faster we can get back out here. And within about 3-4 days, I was sitting in Clay Island, Washington, up in the mountains in a sling, sitting there going, man, this hasn't really even hit it. It sunk in. And it didn't need to sink in, right? Like it was what needed to happen. Every day it passed, spring training passed, and from Scott laying out the best plan forward, thinking about what's going to be best for, us and the best opportunity. And it's hard, and you sit there and you're like, man, I should be at spring training, but I'm throwing here at Eastside Catholic High School. All the catch partners that I usually have are out, and I'm throwing to some amazing people that are done playing or some amazing high school catchers and so on and so forth. And opening day rolls around, right? And you're just like, we knew the plan and knew what was in my heart. Doesn't mean it was easy, but it makes you miss it. And there'll be a time and a place to watch baseball from the couch, but I don't think it's in the near future. I do believe I have a lot more ahead of me. And as hard as those days were, in my heart knew what was ahead. And tonight had a special place because of that.
So 14 months after not pitching means that Shane Bieber should be back about June. All right? Next season, of course. So that has me juiced. Also juiced that I heard from Albert Breer. He's going to join us.
All right, 10 minutes from now.
Yes.
All right, that's great.
Austin, what has you juiced?
I think the best text that a 41-year-old married man can get. So I'm just going to put a caveat on there. Like,
who's the 41-year-old married man?
That's me.
Oh, okay.
So the best text that I can get specifically is, hey, you playing this golf scramble? Absolutely. Yeah. Golf on a Friday? Absolutely. I'm in. So I have to wait. This is my third time to get to play in the Roosters golf outing.
It's a good one.
It's It's an elite one.
Yeah.
Fantastic. And it's awesome to have great friends and great partners like Nicole Cox and everyone there. And she does a phenomenal job organizing this event. Her whole team does. Out at Dublin tomorrow morning, where I did a rain dance to make sure that we're all in the clear for that tomorrow. This one's, you put it on the calendar. You hope that there's no media availability on a Friday in the middle of camp. All right. So we check that box. You hope you get an invite. You hope for the weather. It'll be a great time either way. I know that Justin Zwick and I will, if we have to go inside to the clubhouse, we can do our best to entertain the masses.
His back is feeling better?
He's apparently back.
Okay.
All
right.
And he's waiting to go ahead from work. I hope I'm not ruining it for him because he's trying to make sure that he has the time to get in there. I'm going to be there no matter what. You just ruined
his cover. You blew his cover.
Well, Nicole presented it to him as a professional networking opportunity for him. And I'm going to say that that's absolutely the case. He's definitely not going to be out there drinking seltzers and trying to get the Roosters girls on every other hole to drink seltzers with us. So that would never happen at one of these events. No, don't worry, Nicole. That would never happen. But that's a perfect Friday. It's because Liberty's back in school, tea time at 10, perfect weather. If that doesn't get me juiced, there's literally nothing on earth that will.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's a nice little Friday that you've got in store. I'm pumped for you. James on the YouTube chat said, if Austin doesn't get you juiced, you're not a Buckeye. Love his enthusiasm. You've got James juiced.
Let's go, James.
Just doing the show here.
Woo!
I get a follow-up from Jay. Said, could this be the best running back duo in college football has ever seen with Travion and then Quinshon? And then David said, I'm not an Ohio State fan, but you can't overlook Archie and Pete Johnson. Like, yeah, that's a pretty quick answer back to that. What am I fired up about? Well, I finally got to watch Hard Knocks yesterday. So that was good. We put William to bed last night around 7:30. Yeah. So she was doing some stuff upstairs, making sure she was getting ready for her morning classes, cooking William some, food a little bit later on after he went to bed so that I could serve him for daddy daycare. And she just walks in the room. I've got Hard Knocks on. I'm about half hour into it. She just goes, ugh. She made that noise when she walked in. And she just goes, I just don't understand you. Because I'm like giddy watching it. I'm like, oh my God, look, the guys are back. The Bears are back. And I'm saying it like coyfully, but really in my mind, I do believe it. And she looks at me, and it kind of ruined my night. She goes, what week of the season will they be out of playoff contention? I was like, first 9 weeks. I'm hoping for nine solid weeks. And then if we get to double digit weeks and then my heart's broken, that's fine. It's fine. So I got to watch that. HBO Max was finally working, even though they had postponed it and ruined my Tuesday an hour and a half later.
Did you get cable yet?
I didn't get cable yet.
Oh.
I didn't get cable yet.
Not juiced for Spectrum?
Not really.
Okay.
Not really.
I don't blame you.
If they do it again next week, though, I'm dropping them like a bad habit. YouTube TV, and not even YouTube TV, HBO Max, you're dead to me. Canceling my subscription. I won't do that because I like Game of Thrones too much and I like rewatching. What else has me juiced? Albert Breer of the MMQB. He's going to join us. Lots happening across the NFL. We check in with him next. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
The morning drive is a little slow on the south side, 71 northbound between Green Lawn Avenue and 70. Use some caution. Also, plan for delays on the west side on 70 eastbound between Sullivan Avenue and 315. I'm seeing some delays as well on 33 westbound between Bowen Road and Bixby Road. Good news, though, the earlier accidents have cleared, so things are moving a bit better. I'm Heather Pasco for 97.1, The Fan Traffic.
Score a goal with the Love My Crew checking account from Pathways, the checking account that rewards you for supporting the crew. Learn more at pathwayscu.com. Pathways Financial Credit Union, official credit union of the Columbus Crew. Federally insured by NCUA.
It's a great feeling doing business with John Hinderer Honda.
It's a great feeling doing business means we're one of the highest rated nationally in customer service. We have one of the largest selections of Hondas, and we make service simple with car convenience and mobile service, all while serving Central Ohio for over 30 years. John Hinderer Honda, Route 79 in Heath, or HindererHonda.com. Open Sundays.
It's a great feeling doing business with John Hinderer Honda.
More and more people are falling into problem gambling. Mary Haven's experts offer comprehensive care. You and your loved ones can count on mental, emotional, and financial guidance.
Confidential and judgment-free. Go to maryhaven.com today.
One thing about us parents, we think we know what's in, but we're usually way off.
That's why I take my kids to Great Clips for back-to-school haircuts. From fresh fades to beachy waves, they can use the online lookbook to find the cuts they want at prices I can't resist. Plus, with convenient online check-in, we save tons of time, too. I may never know what's cool again, but hey, with back-to-school haircuts at Great Clips, I don't have to. Download the app today. Great Clips. It's gonna be great.
Progressive knows when you own a boat, life on land is a tough sell.
Come on down to Land. It's the place where you get to do so much waiting. You can wait in traffic, drive-thrus. You can even wait at the doctor's in a room specifically made for waiting. It's Land, baby. Come and sit patiently for a while, then wait even longer. It's Land.
Life on a boat is way more relaxing, and it's even more relaxing when you protect your boat with Progressive, America's #1 boat insurer. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates, #1 rating based on 2022 boat market share data from ratefilings.com.
This is the story of the one. As a warehouse manager, her job is to transform chaos into clarity and to see patterns where others see problems. Luckily, she's got a partner who shares her perspective. Grainger offers over 1 million industrial-grade products, backed by real person support and in-depth online resources, so she can tackle every task with precision and turn potential setbacks into streamlined success. Call clickgrainger.com or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
Good morning. I'm Bark the Shark. The Columbus Crew has acquired goalkeeper Abraham Romero from LAFC in exchange for $50,000 in general allocation money. Romero is 26 years old and has started 3 matches for LAFC this season. In his second start of the season, Alex Cobb got his first win in nearly a year as the Guardians downed the Cubs 6-1. He underwent hip surgery last fall and was traded to Cleveland last month. Cobb allowed 1 run on 3 hits over 5 2/3 innings as the Guards earned their 5th straight win. A 4-game winning streak has elevated the Reds from last place into a tie for second place in the National League Central. Last night, TJ Friedel and Jonathan India both hit 2 home runs as Cincinnati crushed St. Louis 9-2. The Sports Center is sponsored by Roosters. They're giving away 12 ultimate Buckeye experiences. We're talking tickets, sideline passes, a trip for 2 to Oregon, and more. Register today and every day at roosterswings.com.
If you can find a show that's closer to Buckeye football, it would be hosted by Ryan Day. You're listening to Morning Juice.
Hour number 3 of the program for us on a Thursday. Brandon Beam, Carp will join us coming up here at 8:20. We got Austin Ward with us. And, of course, Mark the Shark. Power-packed 8 o'clock hour for you. Power-packed.
Buckle up.
And if you miss any part of it, you can always download the podcast after the show, listen to it afterward, or you can stream us live on YouTube. And if you miss any of that, then you can watch a YouTube show of us live again. Not live, but you can rewatch it at any point in the day. All of them are right there for your choosing.
How?
YouTube.com.
YouTube.com.
YouTube.com. Type in Morning Juice.
Wow.
Actually, just type in 97.1. That way, all of our shows will come to your inbox. But if you type in 97.1, The Fan, Morning Juice, all of our shows will just go right to your feed.
Wow. Well, especially if you hit the subscribe button.
That's true. You don't want to forget to do that. Albert Breer of the MMQB, he will join us momentarily. Lots happening across the NFL. We'll talk to him here in a few minutes' time. Coming up at 8:20, the General, Bob Carpenter, will join us on the day off. No days off for him, ever.
It is weird to be sitting in his seat calling him instead of the inverse, which is what happens every Friday.
Right, correct. Are you good for tomorrow, by the way?
I'm busy.
Not at 7:30 or not. Austin Ward will join the program at 7:35 tomorrow.
Oh.
That's a diagonal tease. 8:20, Bob Carpenter. 8:35, the big fella, Jim Lachey from the Ohio State Sports Network. What better way to talk about an offensive line battle than with Jim Lachey? Albert Breer momentarily, Bob at 8:20, Jim Lachey coming up here at 8:35. Before we get into anything else, let's hit this.
Keeping you informed about what's trending this morning. It's time for a little re-rack on Morning Juice.
Sponsored by Billiards Plus, your destination for top-of-the-line grills with up to 30-year warranties. Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
Jay says on the YouTube chat, not trying to overlook anyone, I was minus 30 years old when these guys play, so I'm not aware of the stats. I get it. I get that. I get that, Jay. I understand it wholeheartedly. Guards take down the Cubbies 6-1. Well, 5-game winning streak for them after the 7-game losing streak. at the Brewers coming up on Friday. So they get an off day for their pen. Reds take down the Cards last night, 9-2. Still 4.5 games back in the wild card, 8.5 back in the division. They get the Royals coming up at home this weekend for a big weekend set. Before we get to Albert Breer as well, big news for the U.S. men's national team. Mauricio Pochettino appointed as new U.S. men's national team manager, obviously moving on from Greg Berhalter. Not having a great time in Copa America, he gets fired, and then Poch comes in. What Poch likes to do, he likes to do a press. So just a very high press and then attack. Much different than Greg's system. It's a great hire.
I'm excited by the potential. Is it going to work? Not work? We're going to find out.
Don't know.
But you have to take the swing. That's the thing. They did the stand pat move with Greg Berhalter, which was the biggest problem. You cannot do that at the international level. It was a horrific move, a debacle from the start. It was never going to work, and I'm glad it's over. And now what's going to happen from here? Nobody knows, but you have to at least try.
You have to try, and that's something that they did. So U.S. men's national team appointing Mauricio Pochettino as the next manager for the national team job. Again, World Cup coming in just under 2 years' time here to the States, Canada, and Mexico. Right now, we're heading out to the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest outline, checking with our good friend of the MMQB. He is Albert Breer. Albert, thanks so much for the time. On a day like yesterday, where I feel like there was NFL news like every hour, every half hour, every 20 minutes of the day, what does your phone look like on those days?
I was with the Ravens yesterday, and I had a flight out at night. So I guess the best way to set the scene was that I was working the Matt Judon trade on the rental car shuttle, which probably made me look like an idiot to everybody else who was on there. But yeah, it was. That's the time of year we're at, though. It's just with teams working the bottoms of their rosters, and then you have guys at the tops of the rosters with contract issues. There's all stuff going on pretty constantly, and for somebody like me, where I was at my 19th camp yesterday. It's just you're sort of juggling constantly. So you should try to turn your brain off to everything else as you're doing this stuff and just kind of go.
Albert, when you're juggling that and trying to figure out what's most pressing, what's most important, what's the news of the day, what would you're setting the agenda for the entire NFL in some ways. What do you think was the most impactful thing that happened on Wednesday?
I think obviously we have the big box ones that are kind of hanging over everything, with Chase and Ayuk and Lamb and the day-to-day on that's important, I would say, but I don't know that that's going to impact the season. What happens on a random Monday. I would say, as far as what I think is going to have the biggest, material change on what happens when we get to September and October, November will probably be the Judon thing because, Atlanta, I think Atlanta feels like they're set and good to go on offense. They have, a top 10 pick at tight end, top 10 pick at receiver, top 10 pick at running back. And they're adding Kirk Cousins into that mix. They feel really good about their offensive line. And defensively, they like some of their pieces, but they'd really lack pass rush. So to bring in a double-digit sack guy, a certified double-digit sack guy, I think that could have a real impact on what happens, in the NFC South. Of course, locally, the Mike Hall thing's happening for you guys, and that's obviously really, really unfortunate. But that was something that, when I'm at the Ravens, people were asking me about that yesterday, some of the Ravens people, because obviously the Browns are in division. So I don't know if that'll have as big an impact as the Judon thing on the football part of it, because he hasn't played an NFL game yet, but certainly something people were talking about.
He is Albert Breer of the MMQB with us here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. We were going to play the Kevin Stefanski audio, but it's just him just saying, I'm not going to talk about it, and we're going to let the process be the process. That is all he said. Any question that was framed towards him, he just kind of stayed on that hill and did not move away from it. So there wasn't really an update, although he was out at Browns practice and apparently suffered a stinger. Not a great optics look for them by any means, having him out there yesterday. But that was the update on the Mike Hall situation. Albert, as far as it goes for anything else happening around the league, we do have some injury news to go over. J.J. McCarthy getting the full meniscus repair. And Austin and I were talking about it yesterday, just the options that were on the table for him. They could have, kind of trimmed it down a little bit, and that could create some later friction, like bone on bone, which maybe set up for a bigger injury later on. It did seem like the Vikings were steamrolling towards J.J. McCarthy, if not being the starter, getting starting reps at some point this season.
Yeah, and I think, the one thing you want to be careful of when you talk about that, because he has been impressive in camp, and he's checked all the boxes. And I can tell you, I was there last week. Kevin thinks really highly of him. Kevin also played the position. He's coached the position. He's been an offensive play caller. He's worked with different types of quarterbacks, worked with, Kirk Cousins and Jared Goff and Matthew Stafford. And, you look at the experience that he's had, he knows the position. And I think one of the reasons why J.J. McCarthy went to the right place, outside of just the obvious, which is Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, T.J. Hawkinson, Christian Darrisaw, is that they were never going to force him out in the field. That just wasn't happening there. And and I had talked to Kevin about this before they even drafted one, where they were going to have, if they drafted one, a detailed plan, and a quarterback was going to have to hit certain benchmarks as a rookie for Kevin to consider putting him out there on the field. And so they were always going to be really disciplined about this. They also, like Sam Darnold a lot. I think they can win with Sam Darnold. So they all along had sort of built in the flexibility to sit J.J. McCarthy for a year and give him a real redshirt year. Now he'll get that redshirt year, and I think he'll really benefit from it. I know it sucks in the moment, but, if you're looking at this long-term, the 5-year picture, the 10-year picture for the Vikings, you get your young quarterback a year of development, and, in the time being, he's going to get a chance to adapt to becoming a pro. You get a year with Sam Darnold, which, gets you a good long look at him. And ultimately, I think, the evidence shows that the results when you play things out that way are usually pretty good. I think they came in with the flexibility to sit JJ. Now that they are going to sit JJ, I think long term there will be a benefit from it, both developmentally and, like you said, there's a health benefit too, where they're going in and they went in and actually fixed this. It's not just a Band-Aid.
Albert, a lot of stuff happening too with wide receivers across the league. I feel like as soon as Justin Jefferson signed that contract, then we got a lot of wide receiver news or not news. Cowboys passed $10 billion in valuation. Jerry Jones, CeeDee Lamb, that saga is dragging on. We miss you, CeeDee, come back. And then the day before, he's like, I don't really care that he's not out here. You got that going on. Steelers apparently have a proposed trade for Brandon Ayuk. They're waiting on negotiations to be done either from the 49ers side, but I guess the Steelers side is done with that. And then the wild card in this whole thing, Jamar Chase down in Cincinnati. Can you kind of update us on all three of those situations that are unfolding at the receiver position?
Sure. So, let's start with Jamar and with the Ayuk, because I think there's a contrast here. Just having been at both their camps, if you watch Chase during practice, he's engaged, he's with the young receivers, he's on the field, he's in the meeting rooms, he's just not practicing. I guess technically it's a hold in, but he's doing everything but practicing, right? And so they've been, really up until this week, they've been happy with everything they've gotten from him. Ayuk's a little different. The day I was there, Ayuk was kind of sitting on a golf cart away from the practice fields, making it apparent that he was there, but also making it apparent that he wasn't fully connected with the team. So, that thing has gotten a little more sideways. Now, I would say because it got sideways, that drove John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan to seek a conclusion here. And that's a smart organization. They've been down this road with Deebo Samuel and Nick Bosa the last couple of years. And, I think their idea was, all right, fine. You want to go see what's out there? Go see what's out there. Go find what kind of contract you can get. We'll open up trade talks with these teams. And we think that you aren't going to be able to find the same combination of opportunity to win and money somewhere else. And, what ended up happening is the Patriots offered over $30 million a year. He doesn't want to go there because he can't win there. Instability, quarterback, a coach. Don't know where they're going to be at those two spots. Pittsburgh, has a opportunity to win, but not at the same level as San Francisco. They're offering right around $28 million. So that's not that far above what San Francisco's offering. So now it sort of, I think, comes back to, okay, the Niners sort of call this bluff, push them back to the table. Can they resolve the personal differences? Can they make up the financial gap? That's what I think it comes down to now. And I think the Niners might wind up with their number one receiver signed long-term as a result of all of this. And as for CD, look, like that relates a lot to the Justin Jefferson thing and the gap between what Jefferson's making and what some of the other guys who signed this offseason, Waddle, Smith, Nico Collins, Amon-Ra St. Brown. There's that big gap Jay made and what those other guys made. And so how do you make up that gap? That's made it, I'd say, more difficult for the Cowboys and Lamb to work out a deal. But I think in the end they will find a way to get something done. It's just, I mean, look, man, like I covered that team. The Cowboys say a lot of things. And what they said today might be different than what they said last week. So that's just sort of what you're managing down there.
I feel like it's hour by hour. Where are you going today?
I'm going to be coaching my kids,
Nice.
my kids' football practice this afternoon, and then I'm going to pop by the Eagles-Patriots game in Foxborough tonight, and I'm going to go see some of the Philly people.
All right, that sounds great. Hey, before we get you out of here, who will throw for the most yards tonight in the preseason game? Shark asked us earlier, Jacoby Brissett, Drake May, Zappe, or Joe Milton?
I'd say Drake May. I think he's going to get more playing time. Although,
come on,
Milton,
Albert.
I feel like I tweeted something that pissed off everybody up here. Did you guys see this last week during the game?
No.
I said something along the lines of, I'm driving, so I don't have it in front of me, but I said something along the lines of, like, New England's collective lack of college football knowledge makes them the ideal mark for Joe Milton mania. I mean, like people at Michigan and people at Tennessee would tell. I mean, this guy was like, people thought this guy like he was Bigfoot before they actually put him on the game.
He can throw the football over those mountains.
Yeah. I mean, he's like a broken jugs machine. It's going to go a long way. You just don't know in what direction.
That's one of the best analogies I've ever heard. It's like a broken jugs machine. It can go 1,000,000 miles an hour. It can go a quarter of a mile. And I don't know where it's going to go, but it may land somewhere good or bad. Buddy, appreciate the time. Thanks so much for hopping on with us. Thanks for carving out some time. Have a great practice tonight with the boys, and we'll check in again soon, all right?
All right, thanks, guys.
There he goes. Albert Breer, MMQB, with us here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. The General, the co-host of the show, Bob Carpenter, is next. Morning Juice right here on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
The morning drive doesn't look too bad. We do have a couple of slow spots, though. One for an accident 161 westbound before Sunbury Road. Traffic slow from Little Turtle Way. Also, we've got slowdowns on 670 westbound Leonard Avenue to 3rd Street. On the west side, you're slow on 70 eastbound Sullivan Avenue to 315. And on the north side, you're slowing 71 southbound between Weber Road and 5th Avenue. I'm Heather Pasco for 97.1, The Fan Traffic.
Another day is here, and you're ready for it. What to wear? Check. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner? Check. Planning for what's next and how to save for it? That's where Bank of America can help. For your financial to-dos, Bank of America has experts ready to help get you closer to your goals. Get started at one of our Central Ohio financial centers or 24/7 in our mobile banking app. Find a location near you at bankofamerica.com/talktous. What would you like the power to do? Mobile banking requires downloading the app and is only available for select devices. Message and data rates may apply. Bank of America N.A., member FDIC.
One thing about us parents, we think we know what's in, but we're usually way off. That's why I take my kids to Great Clips for back-to-school haircuts. From fresh fades to beachy waves, they can use the online lookbook to find the cuts they want at prices I can't resist. Plus, with convenient online check-in, we save tons of time, too. I may never know what's cool again, but hey, with back-to-school haircuts at Great Clips, I don't have to. Download the app today. Great Clips. It's gonna be great.
Need inspiration? Shop Kroger for over 30,000 mouth-watering choices with savings beyond low prices, like digital coupons worth over $600 each week and up to $1 off per gallon at the pump. More savings and more inspiring flavors make Kroger worth it every time. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
Check out this great deal on giant-size Kellogg's cereal. Select varieties are on sale now, 3 for $10 with your card. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Does our waiter look familiar?
I think he was the Plum Insurance mascot. If all insurance companies were like NJM and didn't use gimmicks, then their mascots would have to get real jobs.
That explains the long purple hair in my soup.
No jingles or mascots, just great insurance. NJM.
At Sunny Street Cafe, we scoff at the notion that restaurants should only have one tagline.
'Cause we
have 7.
Like our number 4.
Sunny Street Cafe. Breakfast and lunch classics you would expect, and some tasty concoctions you wouldn't.
Now with 8 locations.
Rothman and Ice.
I don't really mean it that he's not talented. He is very efficient, or could be, in this offense with the ultimate X factor.
Rothman and Ice. Weekdays at noon.
Sponsored by Pella Columbus.
The Fan.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. You've heard their name on the radio. You've seen them on TV and possibly have heard about them from a family member or friend. One question always arises. What makes Newman Roofing different from the thousands of other roofing companies out there? Well, the answer is simple. It's a company built around family. With 3 generations of family in the roofing industry, the Newman family has built a reputation on honesty, transparency, and consistency. Family members holding key positions from the office sales to production teams, they strive every day to ensure each customer receives excellent experience and a quality product. And I should know they did my roof and their family did a great job. The Newman family drive to take care of their customers radiates throughout their team. Each team member takes pride in the work that they do. As the Newmans say, when your name is on it, it just means more. If you're in need of a roof repair or replacement, call the company that is built around family. Newman Roofing, 614-NEW-ROOF or newmanroofing.com.
Depression and anxiety are the most common complications of pregnancy, childbirth, and the postpartum period. In fact, mental health conditions are the leading cause of pregnancy-related deaths here in Ohio. That's why new efforts were recently highlighted at the state's capital to increase awareness, enhance services, and bolster legislative support to ensure better perinatal mental health outcomes statewide and in your home. To learn more about how you can support Ohio moms and help improve birth outcomes, visit womeningovernment.org.
Healthcare.gov is here for you when life happens. If you lost your health coverage because of turning 26, going off Medicaid, leaving your job, or moving, you could be eligible to enroll in new coverage now. And if you need to update your coverage because of marriage or having a baby, you could also be eligible. But don't wait. There's a limited time to enroll. Check your eligibility at healthcare.gov today. Life happens. Get covered. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Increasing clouds today with a high around 87. As we go through tonight, we are looking at a cloudy sky with a low 66. Tomorrow, scattered showers, high 87. And then on Saturday, isolated showers with a high of 84. I'm meteorologist Dylan Robshod with your 10 TV weather impact forecast on 97.1 The Fan.
FanDuel is the exclusive online sportsbook partner of Morning Juice. Just sign up at FanDuel.com/juice. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Hash browns and smackdowns. You're listening to Morning Juice.
Here's along here, a little Thursday edition of the program. Brandon Beam, Austin Ward, Mark the Shark coming up in our next segment, 8:35. The big fella, Jim Lachey, he's going to join the program. We'll talk all things offensive line battle. As for now, as we head out to the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline, check in with the co-host of this show. He's number 42 in your hearts. He is Bobby Carpenter. Bob, happy Thursday, buddy. How's the house doing this morning?
Oh, gosh, Beam. I mean, I can't wait till you guys. Liberty, she was nervous, then excited after meeting her teacher. That was great. My kids are all angry elves in the morning. It's a lot of hatred. I'm getting yelled at. Can I get some bread on the way? I'm coming back from lifting. Get some bread. What does that mean? Get some bread. And then followed up 7 minutes later, and eggs too.
Mark, it's too late. I'm already out of the store.
5 minutes after that, when are you going to be home? I'm like, hold on. What? Okay, so I was like literally leaving the Woody Hayes, and they have food items there. They have full catered breakfast, everything. I'll grab
full
some
loaves
food.
of bread.
They do have full loaves of bread, so I grabbed 4 slices of bread. The coaches and everything, I got paid to, be over there and eat and do all the stuff. So, and then I'm walking to my car, getting in, eggs too, Time to go back in. Fingerprint. Walk back up and come in. Fingerprint again. Go back up the stairs. And they have like a hot griddle. Hey, that's one of the chefs. Can I get like 4 eggs? Here you go. Put them in the thing. Walking down. I'm like literally turning out. When are you going to be back? What did you think? I was just sitting in the grocery store parking lot, like just wandering around waiting for an order to come?
Yes.
I mean, it's like, what are we doing here? My daughter beats me out of the front seat, so I'm riding in the back with the boys on the way there because it's not worth the fight when she's wearing shorts that are way too short and already had to argue about that. Oh, yeah, dude. We've got an 8th grade girl, man. Like,
hey, so Sharkton Today in History does a great job as always filling in for you. Sharky, what year was it for Apocalypse Now? I feel like you may have been living some of the scenes in Apocalypse Now this morning.
Absolutely. I mean, that's kind of where we were at. And then I get to listen to the show when I'm driving in my own truck and getting out of my silo. And so I said, getting to listen to you guys duel for dong. Beam, you've got, 13 teams over 30 points?
Yeah, why not?
I don't think he's drugs right now.
I don't think he's ever seen a preseason game, Bob.
I mean,
hey, all I know is the Bears scored 33 last week, so if they can do it, everybody else can do it.
Well, they're trying to prove everybody that their offense is good. Like,
they're not.
If you can't convince them, confuse them, Dean. That's the moral. And so then I get in our car, of course not, with my wife. They're listening to TikTok Radio XM, which is about put my head in a blender.
What's that? What is that?
Doesn't sound good.
What kind of songs are on there?
I don't even know any of the songs, Beam, and they're terrible.
And you only get 15 seconds at a time.
Oh, they're just, I think they're full songs, but it's just, there was nothing good. Nothing good. And then finally dropped my daughter off, and it's like, okay, can we listen to some country or something else? Just something that's not bad. It was a full war zone this morning in there, and yeah, I mean, it was my daughter's first day today. The 3 boys went yesterday. That was a little smoother. I didn't tell you this. So my son, I don't know if you've ever done this, Beam. You're a little young. Austin's a little older. When we would get shoes back in the day at Finish Line, you could buy like the spray that would seal them.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, so Colin, I give him. He's my most responsible kid. So we got this sweet new pair of school shoes, some white Pumas. And so he sprayed them once, let them dry, sprayed them again the next day, let them dry. Well, then the night before Tuesday, he sprayed them again. Well, he left them in the grass. And, yeah, they got some moisture to them, and they were wet. And so the shoes were fine, but they were just wet. And I'm like, dude, we can't. I'll put them in the dryer, but they're not going to be dry. Like the soles, it's not going to happen. So then it was full on just meltdown city. How we don't love him. This always happens to him. I'm like, dude, I would have sprayed him on a piece of cardboard in the garage. Mom told me I couldn't do that. Well, I'm not here to say who's right and who's wrong, but I would have sprayed him in the garage and just sprayed him on cardboard, like their shoes. It's not like we're spraying, a whole monster thing here. So that was the day before. Today I thought was maybe going to be better. We had no bread. We had no eggs. Let them eat cake. Like, that's what I literally wanted to respond with. Like, just go full Marie Antoinette. Take you to the guillotine. Why am I the bad guy? Because I'm not getting the food here fast enough. It's just it was a disaster, Beam.
But you don't get to pick out the shorts either, huh? So you're ruled out of that conversation and the shoes.
I showed up. She already had them on. I go, did we address this? Okay, because this is not going to happen moving forward. Okay, I'm going to refrain to stop like a full, because my daughter, I literally walked out of the house at 5:50. She was already up getting ready, and somehow still getting ready when I returned at 7:30.
Well, you got to look fresh on day one.
Coach, that's like an everyday thing.
Oh, okay.
I mean, her desire, she had my wife curl her hair and everything. And my wife doesn't have curly hair, and she's never worn braids, and she never had a sister. So she's terrible at braiding and isn't really all that great at curling. Well, actually, she can curl, but it's never good enough for my daughter. Her braid game is suspect, though, as the kids would say, sus. So she did have her curl it, and it looked good. And Court's like, I hate when I guess they played this game last night when I wasn't here. It's like, name one thing that terrifies you, and all the kids are saying stuff. And then Courtney was like, when McLean asked me to braid or curl her. And then because she asked for it, and then it's like asking only to yell at you about why it's not better. Like, that's the whole process.
The standard is the standard, Bob.
That's 100%. The standard is the standard, and her standard's pretty low. So my wife's hair is like poker straight. So she curls it falls out immediately. So it's a waste of time. And I tell her, like, I didn't marry you for your curly hair, so why waste your time curling it? Well, sometimes I like to do something different. Like, I've been married to you we've been together 20 years. I mean, it's fine. Put a wig on if you want. I don't care. But like, it looks good to me. Okay, you had the same straight hair then as you do now. We're good, Buckeyes.
Hey, before we get you out of here, do you think Ryan Day announces starting quarterback around 3 hours away from right now?
It's either today or maybe tomorrow or Saturday. I think there's some things lining up for why it could be today. So I would say 50-50 today, 75% by tomorrow, 90% by Saturday. That's where I'm kind of going with that.
It's like weather impact, Bob. That was an impact report that you just did.
Well,
right
I'm
there.
more accurate than the weather people, by the way. And I'm not trying to scare anybody. Like, listen. Okay, I'm not going to do it. I already got it. We're good. Hey, the weather people are great here. Oh, we have the best. I'll say this, Beam. Our weather team is the best. Come to 10 TV, WBNS for all your weather needs.
Buddy, appreciate the time. Good luck traveling upstream in Apocalypse Now a little bit later.
They're gone now, dude. It's like,
but they
it's
have to return to home at some point.
It is, but I feel like one of the people at Hiroshima or Nagasaki, like the bomb exploded. I'm slowly dying inside, and I don't even know it yet. I mean, it's brutal.
Have a great time then, all right?
I love you guys.
Yep, love you too. See you tomorrow. We'll talk to you tomorrow morning at 6 a.m.
Yes, sir. Hopefully.
Yeah, there you go. Bob Carpenter with us here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. The big fella, Jim Lachey of the Ohio State Sports Network. Buckeye battle going on at right guard and the offensive line. We check in with him next. Morning Juice right here on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
We've got a couple of slow spots this morning. Now on the west side, 70 eastbound before 315. There's an accident there blocking the left lane. So you're stop and go from Broad. Also on 161 westbound before Sunbury, we do have a crash here, and it is in the left lane also. So you're stop and go from Hamilton Road. Plan for delays on the east side, 70 westbound between 33 and the 71 east split. I'm Heather Pasco for 97.1, The Fan Traffic.
Marty Brenneman here for Tri-State Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health for treating erectile dysfunction and low testosterone issues. And they're the leader for a reason, because I can tell you from my own experience of being treated there, Tri-State Men's Health is top shelf. Far too many men wait to get their ED treated, but I want to tell you today that you shouldn't wait any longer. If you're suffering with ED and are like most guys, a medical team at Tri-State Men's Health will get you back on track fast. They have the experience, they have the treatment protocols, and they know what they're doing. At Tri-State Men's Health, they have ED treatments that are effective in well over 90% of men. They can even combine treatments for better results. You might even find yourself performing like you haven't in years. So make an appointment today. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 800-900-9654 or go to tristatemenshealth.com. They have 6 offices in the tri-state area to serve you.
Pain from arthritis is just awful. Constant pain. It robs you of so much of the stuff you love to do. But there are effective ways to deal with that pain. My dad and I can both tell you we were able to get relief without medication or surgery. Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. Listen, there are exciting new cellular therapies that can get you lasting relief. The place to go, QC Kinetics, right here in Columbus, Ohio. Dr. Ray Tesner and his team at QC Kinetics utilize cutting-edge treatments that accelerate your own body's healing properties, revitalizing your joints so you can move again. Learn how QC Kinetics can use advanced regenerative medicine to treat the pain, enhance your joints, and restore your mobility. Surgery and pain pills, they're not the only option. My dad and I went there. We feel so much better. He's able to move around and walk like he wants to. I'm able to go out and run and do the things that I enjoy. So here's the great thing. Give them a call at 380-208-4544. Go to qckinetics.com/Columbus. They have 3 offices in Dublin, Gahanna, and Grove City.
We don't talk politics on the Fan. We'd rather talk about things that unite us, like the exciting Buckeye season ahead and pizza. How about the rebirth of the Jackets and pizza? Your home of the Buckeyes, Jackets, pizza, and no politics. The Fan.
Welcome to Nada Yada Island. This season on Nada Yada Island. You were charging your phone? I waited hours for you.
That's how long it takes.
Join Metro and get a free Motorola Edge that'll charge for the day in 15 minutes. At Metro, there's no activation fees. Only at Metro by T-Mobile.
Bring your number ID and sign up for Metro Flex Plus plan. Offer not available if at T-Mobile or have been with Metro in the past 180 days. Requires 68-watt charger sold separately. Actual performance will vary.
From the mind of a 2-foot-tall talking spokes puppet comes this year's biggest challenge. It's time for Bob's Dare to Compare, the hottest game show on TV that asks, what happens when you compare Bob's to the competition? You get style. You get quality. You get beeps and boops and dings and whomps. And thousands of dollars in savings. Everyone's a winner when you dare to compare with Bob's Discount Furniture. Now open in Reynoldsburg and coming soon to Polaris.
You've got to watch your NFL team every Sunday, and Verizon's got you covered for all your team's out-of-market games every Sunday afternoon. Come on! From kickoff to sign-off, from first downs and touchdowns to turnovers and overturned plays.
After review, the pass was incomplete.
Nice! Let's go! This season, win every Sunday with Verizon. Get a great deal on NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV and a new phone. Excludes digital-only games. Terms and embargoes apply.
It's Wrangler season out there. T-shirt days, denim jacket nights. A pair of broken-in jeans you could live in. Open roads, endless horizons, no destinations. This is when adventure starts calling. And you need to be ready in jeans that are made for the unpredictable journey that we call life. Wrangler, for the ride of life. Shop our newest styles today at Wrangler.com.
Morning Juice is sponsored by Affinity Whole Health, the leader in testosterone and hormone replacement therapy. FeelGreatColumbus.com. The Fan.
Beamer has a very punchable face, so Bobby punches it. This is Morning Juice.
Cruise along here, Thursday edition of the program. Brandon Beam, Austin Ward, Mark the Shark. Right now we are heading out to the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. Checking with our good friend, the Ohio State Sports Network. He's an Ohio State Hall of Famer and very entrenched in what is currently a great battle here on the offensive line. He is Jim Lachey. Jim, thanks so much for the time. Always appreciate it. A lot going on here on the interior of this Buckeye offensive line with a nice little right guard position. If that doesn't get you awake on a Thursday morning, then I don't know what will. Thanks for the time, Jim.
We are practice number 13. Out there. You know, after being out of practice the last couple of days, you can tell that, you know, it gets to that point where you're just tired of each other. You know, I mean, you kind of, it's starting to get a little tripped out there, which you like to see in, you know, week 2, week 3 of your practice. And, you know, they're battering along. And as you said, I think they got, you know, 4 of the spots pretty much nailed down, but they're working at that right guard position and trying to, you know, make 3 or 4 different options, which is always good. Offensive line.
Hey, Jim, if I can ask you just to move. So I don't know where you're at this morning, but your phone is going in and out a little bit. We heard a little bit of you.
Now, better?
Yeah, much better now. But you're right, that right guard position does seem to be the one of intrigue as we've really ramped up camp here now. What is the second week? And you've been through these camps before, Jim. You do get tired of hitting the person next to you, especially when it seems like it's 105 degrees and like that's all you're doing all day as an offensive defensive lineman, that close quarter contact.
Well, you know everybody's moves by now. You're right. I mean, you studied the tape. You're watching practice, you know, every day, and you're going through the film. So, I mean, you know, everybody knows what the guy's going to do out of a certain stance. So you're just battling on, beating up on each other. But, again, that's something you have to kind of go through. Everybody, every team out there, you know, all 134 of them are kind of feeling that same thing here when you get into week 3. But, you know, right now at right guard, Integra Shabola has done a good job of, you know, kind of, you know, staying healthy and banging around in there. He's obviously an option there. Carson Hinsman, who played center last year, you know, with the addition of Seth McLaughlin in there, you know, he's got an opportunity to play some right guard. And, you know, they've had some guys not banged up, but just sick. You know, you walk through the Woody Hayes facility and you see that they got all the chairs set up inside the Woody on the practice field, where the offensive line has been meeting just to kind of, you know, whatever bug's been going around, they're trying to eliminate that. You know, all the chairs are about, you know, 10 yards apart and got about 3 or 4 rows of them with the film. And actually a pretty cool setup to watch practice film inside the Woody. But, yeah, they're just kind of going through that right now, just trying to stay healthy and, you know, keeping everybody away from getting whatever bug that is going around.
Yeah, that's not been ideal for the offensive line. It started really on day one with Carson Hinsman and missing practice due to that illness and it going through. Like, I think that it's not ideal, Jim. Like I asked Ryan Day about that last week. It's like, does this delay the timeline at right guard? Does it, keep you from building some of that chemistry and continuity that you want? He's like, well, depends on how much longer it takes to flush this out. But I think that, as you mentioned, everybody went into training camp and it's like, well, Ohio State doesn't have many question marks, but they don't know who their right guard is. That's a big deal. They need to play better on the offensive line. But these three guys, maybe four, if you also include Luke Montgomery in that conversation, they're not short of options here. So I think like some of this, viewing it as a position of concern, yeah, they didn't have a starter, but I don't really think that Ohio State is worried about the depth there because they may have enough options to play guys in multiple different spots.
No, you're exactly right. And they have plenty of depth at that guard position. They probably, as you mentioned, 3 or 4 guys that can go in there and nail that down. I thought probably early in camp there's more concern, at the tackle having depth. Obviously, you got the two Joshes, Josh Simmons and Josh Fryer, left tackle, right tackle, got that nailed down. But, you want to have an extra tackle pair and a spare, so to speak. And, you look at Austin Sareveld has really come on and, has provided some depth. Zen Mahovsky is another guy that's, come on at tackle and has had some depth there. But they have the dudes. It's just trying to pick the guys. And, again, if the guy gets nicked up or so, you got somebody that's gone through a lot of reps in practice that's able to step in there. So it's by throwing so many guys at that position, you've been able to build depth, and, obviously that's going to pay off if some guy gets banged up a little bit, misses a series or two, or, misses a game. They have some guys that they feel like, have been through it, have been through practice, understand what they're trying to accomplish, and can go out there and execute at a high level.
Because of that depth, Jim, I was just thinking about this the other day. Maybe it's off base. But when we were looking at tackle depth and what's transpired, we know that Tegra Shabola had been an option there. He spent, I think, the first half of spring working there. It just struck me yesterday, and I don't know why. I was like, well, maybe the third tackle is Tegra Shabola because some of that other depth has built up at guard with whether that's Luke Montgomery or Carson Hinsman or Seth McLaughlin at center. Like, I don't know if I'm right or wrong about that, but I hadn't really considered that option until this week.
No, I mean, you're right. Tegra went through all the spring ball, at that right tackle position and, is a guy that, I thought could step in. Luke Montgomery is a guy that, really they're playing him across the board. He's had some center snaps, left-handed center, by the way, which is a little bit different. Played some guard and then has played some tackle. So they need to have, 7, 8, 9, 10 guys that can go in there and they can count on it. When you look at our first 3 opponents, you would think that all those guys would have an opportunity to play, get some, plays out there on film, get a chance to evaluate themselves and see where they are. And by the time you get into, early October and you got some games, Michigan State, Iowa, and then at Oregon, you should have a pretty good idea, barometer on the guys that you want to go out there and play and compete at a high level.
Hey, Jim, we were listening to Emeka Egbuka, and every Ohio State fan is excited about this offense, right? Like, who's going to be the quarterback? Look at Jeremiah Smith, Emeka coming back. Like, we've got so many options for the pass game. And I thought it was really interesting what Emeka said. He goes, what we need to do and what we're excited to do in the wide receiver room is the fact that we're going to be a run-first offense, and then that will open up the passing lanes. And it's like as most traditional as you can get, right? Run first, open up the pass. But I thought it was pretty interesting to hear him say that. Like, Ohio State's identity the last couple of years feel like has been more so in the air. And hearing Emeka say that we're going to be a run-first offense this year, I know that that's got to make these offensive linemen super pumped.
No question about it. I go back to my senior year. We had Keith Byers, and, he was a junior. We ran him 336 times for 1,764 yards, 22 touchdowns. If you got a bell cow at back, and Ohio State has that with Travion Henderson and Quinshon Judkins, run those guys because it makes things a little bit easier. It also gets that safety involved in the run game, which with the wide receivers you can get those guys one-on-one outside. So establishing the run, that'll never change, I don't think, for Ohio State football. And maybe we've gotten away from that a little bit, the last couple of years. Especially last year when, they averaged 138 yards per game running the football. Got to get that number back up, above 200, ideally. As Coach Meyer used to say, you want 250, 250 rush, 250 pass. It gives you 500. And, I think that would be great if he can go out there and do that. And that obviously, shortens the game a little bit too. Your ball control, you're running the clock, and even though you got a really great defense, you can keep those guys on the sideline. And it's hard for the other team to score when they're playing defense all the time.
Absolutely, it is. Jim, before we get you out of here, family good? I know you got a couple of grandkids you're chasing around now.
Yeah, they are. They're doing great. One out in Tempe, Arizona, Remy Elfline, so we get to see her. She's coming in 6 days, and our grandson, Wes Warren, over there lives in Upper Arlington, so we get to see him a couple of days a week, so that's always special to be around him. But it's time. It's time for this football season to get started. We get the Buckeye Roundtable kickoff show coming up on Monday, so, that'll be – I know Skip's excited for that. Paul and I are excited to get that thing, kicked off and running, and getting ready for the Akron Zips. I'm looking at some of their things. Joe Moorhead, their coach, looking at their defense a little bit. That's probably their strength of their team. Their offensive special teams have been a little bit off. Last year they were 2-10, but yeah, just going through it and enjoying going out and watching them practice. Get after it a little bit, and I'll be out there later on this morning.
I can't believe, it feels like we're still 16 days away, but I think everybody's ready to put the offseason talk to bed. Everybody's ready to get to that first game. Jim, always appreciate the time. Thanks for hopping on with us here this morning. Have a great rest of the day, and we'll check in again soon, all right?
All right, appreciate you guys.
There he goes, Jim Lachey with us here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. Going to reveal our fan poll coming up next. Morning Juice right here on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good news, the accident 161 westbound before Sunbury is just cleared. Traffic, though, still slow from Johnstown Road, but things are clearing up in the area. There are accidents on the west side, 70 eastbound before 315. That's cleared as well. Plan for slowdowns, though, still from Broad. We do have an accident, though, on Westerville Road at Ferris Road, so you're a little slow in that area as well. I'm Heather Pasco for 97.1, The Fan Traffic.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate today at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K. Your car can be picked up as soon as the next day. Receive a tax deduction and vacation voucher.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
Murphy Tractor and Equipment is your source for John Deere construction equipment rental. We rent high-quality equipment and attachments with add-on options in TopCon precision construction technology. Whether you need 1 week or 6 months, we rent a variety of equipment to help you get the job done. All our rental equipment is fully serviced, fueled, and ready to get to work. Let Murphy Tractor be your first choice for your construction equipment rental needs. Visit us online at murphytractor.com.
Does our waiter look familiar?
I think he was the Plum Insurance mascot.
If all insurance companies were like NJM and didn't use gimmicks, then their mascots would have to get real jobs.
That explains the long purple hair in my soup.
No jingles or mascots, just great insurance. NJM.
Ah, the sounds of back to school time. There's plenty to about this time of year, so let Cane's take something off your plate by putting something on it, like hand-battered chicken fingers and cane sauce.
Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers, one love.
Hey folks, Bobby Carpenter here. If you're ready to tackle any adventure, check out these unbeatable offers from Germain Toyota. Get behind the wheel of a rugged Toyota Tundra with 0% financing for 60 months. Yeah, that's right, 0%. Or if you're looking for something a bit more compact but just as awesome, lease the all-new 2024 Toyota Tacoma for just $329 a month for 36 months. These deals are rolling out so fast, so don't wait. Visit Germain Toyota on the corner of I-70 and Bryce Road or online at germaintoyota.net.
Common Man and T-Bone.
They got Halloween candy out at the grocery store.
Why are you buying it
now?
now?
To get all the good candy now. What if they run out? It's never happened in the history of the world, but what if they run out?
Common Man and T-Bone.
Sponsored by the Hinderer Motor Company.
Weekdays 3 to 6 on The Fan.
And what is it called?
A ceiling fan.
And where is it?
It's on the floor.
And why is that a problem?
Well, see, the person who named it probably should have called it a No, that's not right. The guy on TV I saw put up a ceiling fan.
Are you a TV star, Paul?
No, I'm not.
Are you an electrician, Paul?
I am not.
You are?
I am a middle management accountant, and I shouldn't be putting up ceiling fans.
You should.
Call the pros who knows.
Apex Pros.
The pros who know electrical work, too.
Hi, it's Alex from Apex Pros. And if you liked us for plumbing, cooling, and heating, you're gonna love our pro electricians.
Apex Pros are on the way.
Much easier, isn't it?
I'm glad we sorted this out.
Me too.
Columbus loves the pros who knows. Schedule with one click at apexpros.com.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at getethos.com. That's getethos.com.
Every 40 seconds, a child is reported missing. Find the Children is a nonprofit organization dedicated to helping find missing kids. You can be a part of their mission by donating your unwanted car. Call 1-800-294-0222. You'll receive the maximum tax deduction, and we provide fast, free pickup. Call 1-800-294-0222. Donate your unwanted or unused car. Call 1-800-294-0222. This advertisement was paid for in partnership with Cars R Us and Find the Children.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
We'll start off sunny, but the clouds do increase as we head throughout the morning hours. 87 today, and unfortunately, the humidity will be higher today as well. Tonight will be cloudy with a low of 66, and then isolated showers on Friday with a high of 87. I'm meteorologist Dylan Robichaud with your 10 TV weather impact forecast on 97.1 The Fan.
All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. If Bobby and Beamer aren't talking about it, it's not worth your time anyway. You're listening to Morning Juice.
Wrap things up here. A little Thursday edition of the program. Brandon Beam, Austin Ward, Mark the Shark. We here in the Juice, brought to you by our good friends over at Affinity Whole Health, the leader in testosterone and hormone replacement therapy. You can, of course, visit them on the line at feelgreatcolumbus.com. Uncle Bo and the boys coming up. After we're done, they will check in with Paul Feinbaum coming up at 9:33 a.m.
People are always looking for that SEC update here.
Absolutely, man. So he's going to join the program for them at 9:33. Also, programming note, 11:30 ish.
Easy.
11:30 ish.
Okay.
Approximately 11:30.
Buckeye time.
Eastern Standard Buckeye time. Ryan Day's press conference will be live on the Fan and stream, and it's going to be on YouTube too. Now I don't think we're capable of cutting to Ryan Day at the Woody on our YouTube channel. That would be pretty impressive if we could, but you can watch Chops as he listens to Ryan Day.
That's even better.
You can watch him live in the studio, and maybe Bo too, as both those guys listen to Ryan Day around 11:30. What time? You know what we should have done for our fan poll? How many minutes of Buckeye time will Ryan Day appear at his press conference today? It's slated for 11:30.
What time will he appear, or how long will he be at the podium?
No. What time will he appear?
Oh, he's going to be there at like 12:03.
12:03?
Yeah.
I'll take the under.
Okay.
I'll take the under on that. Although you're in that building way more than I am.
Yeah. If it happens at 11:30, I will truly be stunned. Truly.
I'll take the under at 11.
Thursday,
11:52.
If they're following a similar blueprint this week, which I think they are, then they would be in line based on last Thursday for a 3-hour practice.
That's a lot of practice.
It's a lot of practice.
It's a lot of practice.
I thought last week at 10:30, this was what this.
What's your day looking like? So you're getting done here at 9. When are we going over to the Woody?
I'm just going to go there now because it wouldn't make a lot of sense for me to go home. Drive up 3:15, get up to Bethel for what, like 15 minutes? I brought all my stuff. Like, why waste the time? I'd be home for like 20 minutes and I have to get back in the car and drive. So I'll just go up there. I'll sit in the Biggs lobby for a bit, prep some stuff. Bob is not as confident as I think everybody.
No.
He's in the building, so he's the most accurate weather forecaster that you have when it comes to a Ryan Day prediction. Yeah. I think to a man, everybody else who has been covering this team this month believes that today is going to be the day that Ryan Day makes the announcement. It has been trending that way, and he doesn't have another media availability scheduled until next week. So
is it a next Thursday for him?
Yes, he does next Thursday night. So he goes, I think he's got a lightning round on the same night as the offensive line. Lightning round. Yeah, 10 to 15 minutes. Quick hitters and get out. So they don't generally do this with announcing a starting quarterback through a press release. So Bob's notion that could happen on Friday or Saturday, I'm not questioning his expertise. I'm going to push back that probably wouldn't be the way they do it. If it doesn't happen today, I don't think it would happen publicly until next week, unless they're taking a new tact, which would be unusual for Ryan Day, which would be announcing a starting quarterback on social media, which is possible. Not saying it's impossible, but there's maybe other things like going on with Block O, captains that they probably wouldn't want to overshadow that with a quarterback thing.
All right, so he speaks at 11:30 today. Maybe he throws a wild card, Buckeye time. Remember that. Buckeye time, 11:30, not standard time. So that could be anywhere from 11:30 to 12:03. Any time in that half hour. Uncle Bo's going to have
to... Or past it.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, there's no rules. There's no rules. I mean, something could happen today, and all of a sudden, before you know it, it's going to be a 2 o'clock press conference. I mean, he can push it back whenever. It's his press conference.
Well, you're asking how my day looks. I don't want that to happen, because when I do the morning juice with you, I like to be able to go home and maybe relax, maybe close my eyes again, because I am not on your sleep schedule. And I cannot do that today. So it's a huge day. We're expecting, we're going to get Ryan Day, Chip Kelly, and Jim Knowles, no matter what they say. I will be busy then for several more hours after that.
How long for those guys? I mean, how long will they all talk for? Ryan will go the longest time, right? Chip and Jim probably going 20 minutes.
Yeah,
apart?
They'll get 15, 20 minutes each. So I'm expecting 30 with Ryan Day, and then we'll go like almost till 12:45 or 1. Beyond that, maybe we'll see. And then have to do snap judgments, have to do the podcast daily for Friday. Spoiler alert, we record that a day ahead of time. And then write still for the website after that. So today's getting pretty
And you got to go
full.
to trivia tonight.
Well, I'm afraid I'll fall asleep during trivia. I don't know if the winning streak at SIP will be able to continue based on what my body might be feeling. But
sounds like you're scared to be great to me.
I'm not afraid to be great.
That's what it sounds like.
I'm going to be great tomorrow. That's for sure. 7:30 in the morning and then 10 o'clock at the first tee, or wherever tee Nicole sends us off in the shotgun start.
As Bob Carpenter infamously said on this program, and I don't know who he attributed it to, I have never been to tomorrow.
That's true.
Today is not the day.
Michael Scott.
To be scared. Michael Scott, Bobby Carpenter, Austin Ward. Before we get out of here today, our fan poll at 971thefan.com or on Twitter at 971thefan. Which conference will put the most teams into the inaugural 12-team college football playoffs? ACC, Big 12, no. I'll say
Rule
no.
them out.
Those teams were only an option because there are 4 options on the poll on Twitter. Big 10 or the SEC. I'll lean SEC. I'll lean SEC this year. I just look at the preseason rankings, and even though that I think that they're dumb and we shouldn't rank teams before the preseason, I look how all those SEC teams are positioned, and 2 bad teams could be in the top 15. And if they have 3 or 4 losses, it's still going to be like, whoa, look at them. They started off the year at number 8 or whatever number they are. So I'll lean SEC on that. But I think it'll be a real battle. That'll be a fun one to watch.
I think the Big 10 is getting 4, and it's hard to imagine them not taking 4 SEC teams. So I would go with tie. That wasn't an option. But I'll give, if I have to pick one, I'll say the Big 10. I think there are opportunities there. Ohio State, Oregon, Penn State, Iowa.
Ooh, wow. You're just going to drop the mic on the show like that?
That's the end.
Show's over.
That's the end.
Austin, I had so much fun with you today. What do you say we reconvene tomorrow morning at 7:35 a.m. when we call you and wake you out of your slumber, all right?
Sure.
Everybody have a great day. Uncle Bo and the boys up next. We are back live tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. to break everything down. Have a good one. Talk to you then. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
The accident on 161 westbound before Sunbury Road has cleared. However, traffic remains slow from Johnstown Road. I'm also seeing some heavy and slow traffic. 670 westbound between 71 and 3rd Street. And on the south side, you're slow. 71 northbound between Greenlawn Avenue and 70. I'm Heather Pasco for 97.1, The Fan Traffic.
is a Fan Action Update.
A look at some NFL season-long player props. For most regular season passing yards this year, Patrick Mahomes is the favorite at 6-1. Second in the odds is C.J. Stroud at 7-1. Jared Goff and Dak Prescott are tied for the third best odds at plus 950. Joe Burrow is 13-1, have the most regular season passing yards. Russell Wilson 47-1. Deshaun Watson 48-1. For your action update, I'm Scotty Vegas.
Bobby Carpenter's dad and retired pro football player Rob Carpenter was tired of dealing with knee pain, but finally found relief without surgery at QC Kinetics.
Yeah, this was nothing really like a surgery. I mean, it was not painful, and the results were good. And, you know, I'm walking out the door and walking pain-free, so it was a good experience.
Dr. Tessner and the medical professionals at QC Kinetics treat patients like Rob using regenerative medicine that helps heal and restore damaged joints with no downtime.
I wasn't really exercising much, and I gained weight because of that. So the upside of it obviously is I'm able to exercise without any pain or stiffness in the knee, and it's got my cardiovascular system back into shape, and I feel a lot better. And again, lost the weight. So what more can you ask for?
Call QC Kinetics for your complimentary consultation in Dublin or Gahanna. 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544. Or go to qckinetics.com/Columbus.
You never know if the person next to you in line is a McMuffin, a McGriddles, biscuit, or burrito person. But what you do know is that every last one of us in line for our McDonald's breakfast this morning were brave enough to get out of bed a few minutes early.
Right now, get a $2 breakfast sandwich like a bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit or sausage McMuffin with egg, only in the app. Offer valid one time per day from 7/29 to 9/1/24. Participating McDonald's must opt into rewards.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym for a while.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone.
Lower T?
Yeah, I went through it a while back. Once you hit 40, your body has less free testosterone. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The key ingredient is something called Tesnor, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again, at work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text.
Text ALL to 321-321 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T, the #1 selling testosterone booster at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast. Absolutely free. Text ALL to 321-321. That's ALL to 321